Hello, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to deMars Radio. I'm your host, Kozak deMars, and this is episode 4 already, which is absolutely crazy. I decided to do a second one, so I'm doing them now on Saturdays along with the Wednesdays, so twice a week. I don't know if I'm shooting myself in the foot here by doing them twice a week, but I felt like I wanted to connect with you all more and connect with all the artists and influencers out there. There's so many of yous during this time, and plus I'm learning a lot more than I expected doing something like this. So absolutely delighted to be here on this lovely sunny Saturday. What a flippin' day today. So I hope you are all enjoying that sunshine out your back gardens or however. But we've got a really, really good show today. I've decided that I should allow musicians to play a little bit longer than usual. So we have 4 guests on today, and they're all going to be performing as well. So they'll be performing about 3 songs or a 15-minute kind of set. And we've got HAYLEY MCKAY, who'll be joining us from England, who's a singer-songwriter. We've got Just Dave. We've got Ian Brennan, and we've got Warped Mind. So they'll be joining us very shortly. And but before I allow our guests to come on, I usually do about 30 to 40 minutes of a bit of local Irish music. So people have been sending in their tracks to me over the past couple of weeks. And I basically just play it for them. So how's it going, everybody out there, by the way? All these lovely 5 viewers, which is a little bit less than what I was expecting on a Saturday, but I guess it's so sunny out there. I wouldn't be expecting people to be on their Facebook. Maybe I should be doing a evening show, but it seems to be everyone's doing an evening show. So I was like, okay, why not I just do a early afternoon show? So we'll see how it goes. Nothing is set in stone. I like to be malleable. I like to be able to change things around. And let me know if the sound is okay. I mean, that's always a lovely bit of help if someone can be the sound engineer for me every now and then, and just let me know if my mic is okay. Let me know if the songs can be heard. Let me know if the fans aren't too loud. I've got a fan here keeping me cool. So let me know if that's too loud. I'll turn it off at the risk of dying from overheating. As long as you guys can hear loud and clear out there, that's all that matters. So Anna Kozak, how's it going? Rebecca, Hayley, and Lindsay, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you are enjoying that sunshine. Anna, where are you off to? Are you gone for a walk? I'm a little bit jealous, but I should maybe figure out how to make this a portable situation so I can just walk. Could just do it on my phone, but the production value wouldn't be as good. So, it's I guess it's worth the sacrifice. And what's twice a week? What is that like to be working? It's nothing. It's great. So I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to this, guys. So I'm going to introduce our first local Irish artist that I'll be playing for you today. And these guys are called The Telling. And they're a 5-piece Dublin-based band that are their genre is prog rock, pop, and they classify themselves as very diverse, emotive, and energetic. So they're fronted by a world-renowned singer, Lindy Lou, and their inspirations are Queen, No Doubt, Elton John, Pink, Lady Gaga, Garbage, and Pink Floyd, which is an awesome selection of artists, a lot of which that I really enjoy. So that's a really cool selection there. And they released their EP, I believe it was 2019, just last year. And they've got some great, so they've got 3 songs up there on Spotify. And I'm going to play one of them for you. So let's see which one. I guess I got to choose which one I wanted. So I went for Grasping at Tomorrow. So this is Grasping at Tomorrow by The Telling. Okay, guys, that was The Telling, and that was Grasping at Tomorrow. What an awesome tune. Thanks for sending that in, guys. That was great. I love that. And that was a 6.5 minute tune, which is amazing because radios wouldn't normally play that. So it was a delight to open up with that tune. Really 80s stuff, something that really resonates with me as an artist. I grew up with a lot of 80s tunes, so really enjoyed opening up the show with that. And hopefully you guys can come on next week to our show. So Shane, thanks. There he is in the chat. Yeah, I'd love to have you next week. Give us a shout if that works out for you, and we can have a little chat and get to know you a little better. So we've got 14 viewers. That's great, guys. So give me a nice hello if you come in, if you want to. If you don't be too shy. It is an interactive experience, so it's great the way Facebook allows us to communicate in this way. So please do give us your hellos and give us. If you do like a song, also, you can mention that. And if you have any questions as well for any of the guests that will be coming on, you're more than welcome to ask one. It's no issue. So this is the great thing about the technology we have. We can communicate with each other really easily. So Kate Deneen is on. Brennan. Ian's going to join us shortly. Lindsay, very cool. You're right. That was very, very cool. We've got Paul Ames, who's the drummer in The Telling as well. So welcome, Paul. Yeah, so that's great. We got a few people. Anna Kozak, the Mrs. Hiya. How's it going, Anna? We got Connor Byrne. Connor, what's the story, man? That's great. 17 viewers, guys. This is lovely. Absolutely amazing. It's good to know that I'm not by myself here, and you guys are here with me on this interesting experience. I never thought I'd be doing something like this, although it's always been something that's been in the back of my head. So, and I'm enjoying it, so it's great. That's awesome, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. So listen, without further ado, I'm going to introduce our next artist, and her name is Amy Ellen, who is absolutely amazing artist, and I've had the pleasure to actually perform with Amy a few years ago as part of the Heroes from Mars, the Bowie band. And she was the backing vocalist for a very important gig for us actually at the time. It was the Bowie Fest, and it was the first time, I believe, that we were performing it. So she was absolutely amazing on stage with us, and we got to know her basically through that, and I got to know her. And she's just an amazing artist. She's a student of BIM, and she released her second single just recently on May the 6th called It's Time, and I'm going to play that now in a second. Her influences include Stevie Nicks and Jenny Lewis, and she's studying vocals in BIM. So I think she was mentioning she couldn't come onto the show. I did invite her, I think it was this week, because she's doing her thesis. So if I'm not mistaken, that's your final year. So best of luck, Amy, with that. You're almost there, so I've no doubt that you will finish that course with flying colours. So best of luck anyway. And yeah, so she was meant to actually play a gig last week in the tram line, which was obviously cancelled. She was going to co-headline with Sirens, so that was a gig, unfortunately, that was cancelled due to this madness. So without further ado, here is It's Time by Amy Ellen.
To mess with my head. It's time you knew. Try to tell you all those thoughts roaming in my mind. Try to restore you from the fear on the other side. Try to get in my bed. It's time you knew. Oh, it's time you knew. Try to tell you all those thoughts roaming in my mind. Try to resolve you from the fear on the other side. Try. Set me free from this pain inside. Set me free 'cause I know it's time. Try to tell you all those thoughts roaming in my mind. Try to resolve you from the fear on the other side. Try. Set me free from this pain inside. Set me free 'cause I know it's time.
All right, Amy Ellen with It's Time, which was only released on the 6th of March, which is the same day as my single, actually, which was released, Shine Your Light, on 6th of March. What a great date to release a single, Amy. Good choice. So yeah, she's studying hard this weekend, so best of luck, Amy, with the studies. She started her project in September of 2018, where she met her band members through BIM, which is a college she's studying in, and she's doing her final year. And she played her first show in Whelan's as part of the All in This Together charity event. So please God, we can get gigging as soon as possible. Once again, I'm sure we're all reminiscing of those gig times. So just wanted to welcome Jamie Kelly and Anto Duffy to the show. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Do give us a bit of a love heart there, or a thumbs up if you enjoy any of the artists. And of course, check them out online. Give them a like on Facebook, or give them an L comment. They really do appreciate it, especially in times like these, to spread a bit of positivity to everybody, I guess. And it's so easy to spread good vibes through social media, because all it takes is one thumb and a bit of movement like that, and you can brighten up someone's day. So do that to your artists and to people around you as well. They would appreciate it. Stephen Colfer has joined us. Stephen, welcome to my show, man. I hope you enjoy it. Stephen is a brilliant drummer and an amazing professional session musician who's played in many projects with me. So Stephen, there's your little plug. And he's also a great DJ. So yeah, if you need a DJ, an isolation DJ, he's the one to check out. So our next artist is a Kildare-based 4-piece group, part of Low Kill Productions. And these are an amazing bunch of musicians. I actually played one of their songs, Can't Wait Till June, on the second episode when I was interviewing Claire Nolan, who's actually the founder of Low Kill Productions. These guys are called Barley and the Grape Rag, and they're actually fantastic. And I believe they only released their single very recently. Was it last week? I think it was. So it's called Let It Rain. Yeah, it was April 17th, so only last week. So we have the privilege to hear it here. So I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys.
Can't sleep when I'm sober, can talk till I'm high, until you hear from the bottle and weigh my thoughts goodbye. I take more than a prescription, too much to pay, and to your soul.
Barley and the Grape Rag, and that was Let It Rain. What a tune. I met these guys last year at the, what was it called? The Something in the Water Festival, and I thought they were absolutely amazing. So do check them out. That's their second single they've released now. Can't wait till June is their other one, which is also another great track. Just really, 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 really good musicians. So definitely worth checking them out. So I've got one more artist that I'm going to perform for you before we bring on our first guest. Just want to say hello to Colin Foy. How's it going, man? Welcome to the show. And yeah, anybody else that joined in, welcome. Don't be shy. Do say hello. I'm not going to bite, and I'm not going to say something incriminating about you. Don't you worry. So you don't have to be hiding there behind the screen. Do say hello. I'd love to hear from you. It's a fantastic way to be able to communicate with people. So yeah, we have just to let you know, yeah, we've got one more song left, and I'm going to be inviting 4 different artists to the show where we're going to get to know them, and they're going to play a couple of tunes for us as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So this next artist is actually a very, very, very well, I guess he's a friend, you could say. He's a very close friend of mine. We've known each other for years. We started a band together, I think when I was about 19 years old, so it would have been 11 years ago. Rob Cunningham is the man. This is his name. And he started it in a band with myself called Jackrabbit Slims. We used to play a lot in a abandoned gaff, which was actually owned by him. And we ultimately ruined and got discarded from said abandoned gaff. But they were great times. We got to practice a lot there, and we got to entertain people. Those were our gigs back in the day. And we did release an EP at some stage. And yeah, he's just a really, really good guitarist and a great singer, good songwriter. And he's been in a couple of different projects. And his most recent one was Slay Her 2. Which is a little bit of a kind of a heavy prog-esque, prog punk, if I can call it that. I really enjoy it. I think it's fantastic music, and when they performed it live, I thought, yeah, this is really, really good stuff. But this is something a little bit more chill, I believe. He's really good at doing the old digital stuff. So I want to play this song by him called Only If You Want Me To. So Rob, I hope you're listening out there. If you are, do say a hello. And here's your tune, buddy. Hope it doesn't break my computer now, because I'm not using it on Spotify. Let's see.
Chasing a sun, don't believe us. There's a million more places than here. I'm 21st century, those I care. I need a medic, there's nowhere near. It's like you're running from your own way. A lack of faith, unseen away. Let's not be safe.
All right, that was Rob Cunningham with Only If You Want Me To, and he sent that to me. You can't actually find that song anywhere, I don't think. So he does have a SoundCloud, which I will link is to. So he's not too fond of the whole social media sharing all that stuff. He's too modest for what a fantastic musician he is. So I think he should be sharing a lot more of his stuff. So Rob, that was awesome. Thanks so much for sending that track in. If you do want to find him, it's RAWB Cunningham, and you can just add him personally on Facebook now. I'm sure you can find him on SoundCloud as well, and hopefully he'll be getting some stuff out on Spotify. So yeah, that's great. Stephen Clare, amazing voice. Amy Ellen, yeah, absolutely, you're totally right. Yeah, Keith McLaughlin, welcome on the show, man. Reza Rashidi, Reza, what is the story, man? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, maybe I can interview yourself at some stage as well, man. We can talk about some Iranian food, because that's definitely something I'd be interested in talking about right now. So I lied. So we do actually have one more artist before we bring on HAYLEY, MCKAY. So I'm going to introduce these guys and then play a video by them. They're called Future Fears. So you guys might know them through Dave Duggan, actually, who is who's quite well involved in the music industry and has helped me out with setting up this little radio show. So I've been trying to get him on, but he's kind of busying himself with a bit of production work instead, which is great. So these are a duo alt pop band from Dublin. This is starring Dave Duggan and Susan Ward. In 2016, the band released their first single called Call My Name, which was produced by Ray Traynor, a very well-renowned producer. In 2018, the band toured nearly every part of Ireland, and they're influenced by the Beatles, David Bowie, Queen, Tears for Fears, Aslan, Toto. That's a nice selection of artists. Reza, what do you think? We're not going to talk about food then, so let's talk about music. What do you think of that? They've released their EP in 2018. I think it was their first one, called Lucid. And they released their single Remedy in 2018. And they released a single. They haven't released it yet. I think it was planned to be released in March, and it wasn't released in the end. So they're going to release it some stage this year, hopefully. So I was hoping to get that video off them. Obvious, that's what the name of it is, but I don't think I received it in time for this show. So instead of playing their recent track, I'm going to play a music video called for the song Remedy. So here we go. Let's load this up.
I've been waiting all night just to hear you call my name. All I got is someone else's name, and all I have is somewhere to belong. Oh, I think I'll carry on. Oh, I get a little more time just to make it up, but I can't get over you. I give a little more time just to make it up, but I can't get over you. I don't want nobody else. I just wanna make you understand the way I feel. Get that everything is real for me. Be my remedy. And I can't let go just to make it on my own. All I want is just to let you know. When you see that you're every part of me, oh, I think I'll carry on. Oh, I get a little more time just to make it up, but I can't get over you. I give a little more time just to make it up, but I can't get over you. I don't want nobody else. I just wanna make you understand the way I feel. That everything is real for me. Be my remedy. I've been waiting all night just to hear you call my name. Oh, I think I'll carry on. Oh, I get a little more time just to make it up, but I can't get over you. I give a little more time just to make it up, but I can't get over you. I don't want nobody else. I'm the waiting all my life. I just wanna make you understand the way I feel. That everything is real. I don't want nobody.
Okay, that was Future Fears with Remedy, which was released 2 years ago. And they'll be releasing their single hopefully sometime this year. So sorry I didn't get a chance to play your the other video, Dave. Do send it on, and I'd love to play it at the next show. So what did Anna? Anna says she loves the song. Yeah, it's an absolutely cool song. It's definitely your kind of style for sure. So yeah, it's a good song. Reza, what did you think? Reza thought it was beautiful. I'm glad to have you on the show, guys. It's like having a conversation, which is in the gaff, except I'm just hearing myself. So it's pretty standard then, I guess, isn't it? Bobby, loving the music, great show. Thanks, Bobby, man. I'm delighted to have you on the show with us. Hope all is well. Bobby had a baby, not him, but his missus had a baby a couple of weeks ago. So hope everything's going well for you. Dave, you're here, man. That's absolutely deadly. I'm glad you got to see me play your tune there. Um, that's great. Dave has a great show every Friday as well from 6 p.m. Lindsay, it's a fantastic song. You're right. It's actually a great song, and the production of that video is just brilliant. And I'm not even surprised because like I know Dave now, so well, and everything he does with gusto. He does with 110%. So I mean, you can really see by the quality of that as well that he really knows what he's doing. So well done, Fitri. Welcome to the show. 6 weeks old now. Geez, Bobby, time flies, man. That is amazing. Well, I hope everything's going well for you in the house. And 17 listeners or 17 viewers, guys. That's great. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to invite our first guest. I don't want to be kind of hanging on too long, and then, that's when I start ranting and all that kind of stuff. So our first guest, we have HAYLEY MCKAY. So this is actually really awesome. We've got 4 guests today. So I'm really excited to get to know everyone. I've never actually met or spoken to HAYLEY before, so this is the very first time I got to listen to her music and chat to her. So it was a nice new experience. She's a country soulful pop singer, and she's based in England, which is awesome. So this is our very first international interview. So here you go. We're going to have a lot of firsts. So this is one of them now. So it's actually great. She appeared in many actually really notable festivals. A couple of them would be Glastonbury, Latitude, Northumberland Live, and a lot more. So she released her recent single "Thinking About Last Night," which was on the 3rd of April. And she did a little mini tour of Ireland, I think it was a couple of years ago. And she also performed on the Today Show on the RTE, where she performed the song she co-wrote with Nashville twice Grammy award-winning songwriter Jan Buckingham. It's Jan, is it, or is it Jan? I'm not sure. I have a friend called Jan. It's a soft J. This is how little I know. Which was in front of thousands of viewers, hundreds of thousands, which is absolutely amazing. And she won a national competition as well, which allowed her to progress into the Bristol and Brighton music school, which is also, there's one based here in Dublin, and I believe she's in the one in Brighton. So I think that's where it all started out. So which is absolutely awesome. But she has an absolutely amazing resume, and I'm definitely not giving her enough justice with this introduction. So definitely check out HAYLEY MCKAY for yourself and see what she has done and accomplished so far, because it's absolutely amazing. So we'll get to know a little bit about her as well now. I'm just going to invite her onto the Zoom chat, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Cheers, Anto. Thanks very much for saying that. HAYLEY, how are you doing? Can you hear me well? Let me know if you can hear me there. There we go. Loud and
Hello.
clear. How's it going?
Yeah, great. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I think I've warmed up everybody for you anyway now. So we're all good. We're all good. How are you keeping?
Yeah, it's a great show, Kozak, and the music that you've been playing is fantastic. So, yeah, nice one. Nice one to all the artists as well.
Thanks so much. And yeah, the artists are absolutely amazing, and it's great to kind of bring it a little bit international now, because I don't want to be just saying Irish artists, because the internet is without borders, isn't it? So this goes to show I get to showcase anybody in the world is invited to be on this show. So it's absolutely wonderful. And which part of England are you from, actually? Where are you now yourself?
So, yeah, so I live in a town called Darlington. It's famous for its very first steam trains back in the day. It's in County Durham, which is the northeast of England, which is kind of near about half an hour on the train to Newcastle in York. So
And which, so you went to the, I assume there, by the way, so I thought I might have read it, but you went to BIM, was it in Brighton you went to that school?
yeah, Brighton. I loved living there. Very creative, inspiring place. So had a good
Hmm.
time there. Yeah. And then
Awesome.
after that, I went to London and then ended up moving back up north.
Okay, great, great. And so you've been like you've done a couple of tours and things like that, and you've decided to settle down in one place. Is there any kind of city or anything that you've like visited on, I suppose through music, but even outside of music that you could imagine sort of settling down in, or you kind of settled where you were at, out of curiosity?
I mean, I love traveling with music.
Hmm.
Um, I went to Nashville a few years ago. That was really cool. So
Hmm.
I could see myself going there for like, I don't know, 6 months of the year or something.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I do love visiting London. I used to live there, so it's nice to visit friends down there and do gigs.
Hmm.
Um, I think Brighton, yeah, I think
Brighton's
that
the
would be
place. Is it like, is the music scene really lively out there actually? What is it like in Brighton?
um, it's got a variety. I think it's very creative. Lots of kind of singer-songwriters, quite a few kind of rock bands. Um, I was there quite a while ago now.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just quite varied. There's lots of open mics. There's a lot going on.
Hmm.
I mean, for me though, the best place for music that I've been to is Nashville, and then
Hmm.
I think Ireland's great for music as well, and Glasgow as well. That's got a good music scene.
I'd say it's wild up in Glasgow. We have Lindsay actually, who's in the chat there. She's actually from Nashville, so maybe Lindsay will hear that and she'll have a listen to you and she'll love how you sound and she'll be like, yeah, let's hook up Haley in Nashville maybe. So you never know. You could be there
Yeah,
sooner than you think once this is all blown over.
let's all go to Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? You know, I have heard amazing things. Lindsay did fill me in on how amazing Nashville was as well. So, and would that be like would that have been like the best crowd you've ever performed in, or is there a crowd that stands out for you that was just like, wow, that blew you away? You know what I mean, on stage, or
Um,
probably a hard question, is it?
I think, yeah, because every gig's different.
Hmm.
But a few years ago, I supported Scouting for Girls,
Oh,
and it
cool.
was a red hot summer's day, and it was out looking onto the beach, and there was a couple of thousand in the audience there, so that was cool.
That sounds amazing.
It was real sort of party atmosphere.
Hmm.
Glastonbury, I played at Glastonbury, one of the smaller acoustic stages,
Hmm.
and that was lovely. That was really cool.
Hmm.
I love like the festival vibe gigs, definitely.
I agree. I think they're one of the best vibes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and also playing like home gigs as well. Like
Hmm.
there's a really fantastic venue in Durham, and that's where I'm from originally. And I headlined the big stage there, and it was a sellout, and that was amazing for me. That really sticks out because I was playing in front of family and friends and people who've known me since I was knee high, and so that felt really special.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, every gig's different, and supporting Tom Jones, that was a big one. Thinking about it,
That sounds
that
like a
was
big one indeed. Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Oh, gee, really? That's crazy. I don't think I could forget about a gig like that. And did you get to meet him or
No,
anything like
it's
that?
I didn't get to meet him. No, I just did the gig. It was in the Isle of Man. I don't know
Hmm.
whether you've been. It's
No, I've heard
different.
of it. Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, it was the biggest tent I've ever sang in. It was huge, and
Hmm.
it was. So I also play with a band, but that gig it was just me and my guitar, and I
Hmm.
just remember feeling so small on that stage. It was just huge.
Yeah, isn't it amazing though? Like one person and you can impact so many people at once. That there must be some amazing feeling just being on your own on stage versus thousands of people, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah, it's quite surreal.
it's quite surreal, I guess. Yeah. And who was it? I was reading somewhere that it's almost like, I don't know if you had that feeling, because obviously I haven't actually played in front of that many people yet, you know, and that's something I would love someday. But that you almost get hit, you like you feel almost like a wave of physical. Did you feel something like that when you were in front of so many people, when they were cheering you or however?
Yeah, adrenaline. It's an amazing thing. Adrenaline.
Hmm.
Um, you know, sometimes you might do a gig and you might feel a bit ill or whatever, but you can always rely on adrenaline. Adrenaline
Hmm.
will get you through it, and it's just this wave of energy, you know, mixed in
Mm.
with nerves and all sorts, and suddenly you just, yeah, it's a funny feeling.
Mm. I'd say it's like something I'm sure you miss. And now we're doing all this kind of live stuff over the technology, you know, which is obviously so different because you're not getting that sort of feeling off somebody, right? There's nothing you can really bounce off. It's kind of almost like a one-way system, isn't it? So it's something definitely I'm sure every musician and performer has to get used to, right?
Yeah, it's totally different, but it's cool as well because there's you know, I've had comments where people are watching in from around the world, and that's just amazing,
Yeah, absolutely.
you
Yeah.
know. So it's different, and you know, this is a bit different even because we're both talking to one another, which is cool. And
Mm.
then when you do a live stream gig, which is what I've been doing, I'm kind of bouncing off people's comments.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's different.
Would
It's
you like?
good though.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah, it's definitely something new for so many people, and it is amazing how technology is letting us do this, isn't it? It's pretty crazy. It's come handy, in times of distress like this, you know. So I'd like to give you the floor, Haley. So if you'd like to perform a song for us, that would be amazing. If you're up for it, no pressure.
Yeah, of course. This is my new single, Thinking About Last Night.
Awesome.
Can you hear me okay, Kozak?
Yeah, I can hear you well. I think there might be like a little bit of lag now and then, but that won't be noticeable. It's only between us in conversation. Sometimes there's a little delay, but we're good so far. We're good so far. So don't worry about it. Just do your thing. Don't think about it. It's all
Let's do
good.
it. Yeah. Okay, I hope you like this one. This is Thinking About Last Night.
Awesome.
Going through my closet, something to wear. Put my makeup on and fix my hair. There's a list of things I always do, but the first thing on my mind today was you. Standing in my dark, fresh cotton roses, said you like my dress. Was happy that you noticed the way it matched my eyes. When the sun came up, I was still dreaming. The front door seemed all I was seeing. It's sexy, back in time. Thinking about last night. Turn the key in my car, put it in drive. Even though there's traffic, it's beautiful rides. Keep hearing your voice, 13 hours ago. When you smiled at me and said hello. Standing in my dark, fresh cotton roses, said you like my dress. Was happy that you noticed the When the sun came up, I was still dreaming. From the sea, it's all I was seeing. Sexy, making time. Thinking about last night. Till I see you later on tonight. I'll be thinking about standing in my door, holding fresh cut roses. Said you like my dress, was happy that you noticed the way it's my eyes. When the sun came up, I was still dreaming. From the sea, that's all I was seeing. Sexy, making time. Thinking about last night. Thinking about last night. I'll be thinking about you.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And so this is the recent single that you released, Thinking About Last Night. I think Jack, he was saying that the Wi-Fi mightn't be good in that room. I don't know if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
I'm gonna change rooms if that's all
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. Yeah, give us a little bit of a change of atmosphere on the show. Why not? Um, Haley was saying that she
Welcome to
has
my
a.
crib.
Yeah, give us a little tour. You have a little what was it, glass ceiling in that room as well, which is pretty awesome, I have to say. Okay, so we disconnected there, I think. Let's see um if the room swap helps. So Haley MCKAY, everybody. Yeah, give your thumbs up, give your love hearts, and check her out. Definitely, she has a song already on Spotify, so that would be her first Spotify single. And okay, here we go.
Okay,
Great
I think
stuff.
that's isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's already an improvement. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Kozak, do you want me to do that song again? Because
If you
apparently it was really disjointed because of the internet.
give us a, do you mind giving us a different song? Is that okay? Or unless you want to do, because we can do 3 songs. So if you want to do that one again, or if you wanted to do 2 different ones, it's totally up to you. What do you feel most comfortable with? It wasn't too. I don't know if it was too bad on my side, but I don't know how it sounds on the Facebook Live. That's the only thing. I can only see the kind of comments.
I'll do the chorus again, and then I'll just do
Yeah,
a chorus.
absolutely. That's it. That's all good. What I can do anyway is I can cut and chop all this up afterwards, so I can do a bit of chopping magic.
I'm just gonna do the chorus just in case it was really disjointed.
Absolutely, work away. Let's do it.
Do the chorus. Okay, take 2.
Take 2. Let's do it.
Standing in my door, holding fresh cut roses. Said you like my dress, I was happy that you noticed where's my eyes. When the sun came up, I was still dreaming. From the sea, so I was seeing. Takes me back in time. Thinking about last night. Thinking about last night. I'll be thinking about you.
Awesome. Thinking about last night. So that's great. Yeah, definitely the Wi-Fi is a little bit nicer in that room. And do let us know, if you are watching this, let us know if everything is okay for you out there, sound-wise and video-wise, so we can always do a little bit of live tweaking. But everything looks good and sounds great on my side here. So, Haley, tell us this. Do you have a nice story about this song, actually, and how it came about?
Yeah, well, this song actually, it was sent over from some writers who I'm working with in Nashville, and I just immediately liked the feel of the song. Happy, uplifting, a time like this,
Mm.
you know. And so what I did was that I sort of put my own stamp to it and recorded it here in the northeast of England. Got my band to play their instruments onto it, and yeah, it's doing really well. It's been getting lots of airplays in Ireland and
Mm-hmm.
Australia.
Yeah.
Um,
Amazing. Yeah.
BBC introduced and have picked up on it. So yeah, it's doing quite well. Just got to keep sharing it.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's a happy upbeat song, and I'm releasing new material this year, so it's a nice sort of upbeat one to start off with.
Mm-hmm. And do you have plans to release everything else now as singles? Is it because that's how artists are doing it these days, right? They're releasing single as opposed to one bulk. Are you using the same process?
Yeah, yes, I'm re-releasing a song of mine called One next Friday, and that's a little bit more sort of piano ballady,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then I've got another one coming out in June, sometime. But yeah, I mean, I've been working on lots of new songs, so I think I'm gonna just put them out one by one. But I can't wait to get into the recording studio again, really, and
Mm.
finish with them, because some of them are, I need to finish the vocals and things, but
Mm-hmm.
hopefully soon.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I guess now I guess is the you can take advantage of the writing phase. Although I suppose it can be difficult to stay like creatively motivated when you're expecting to do, because obviously I'm sure a lot of our viewers are, some of them would be musicians as well, so they know there's multiple processes to sort of putting a song onto Spotify ultimately, or to the final sort of product. So there's like the creative process, there's the production, and then sort of the fine tuning and all that kind of stuff. Are you finding it difficult to sort of be in that creative process now with not being in the studio or not being able to perform?
So far, no. I think it's nice, I guess, to have the time and no distractions.
Hmm.
I've got my keyboard set up and whatnot. Um, but yeah, I think the next step is for me to try and learn how to produce.
Hmm.
you know. But yeah, no, I've been quite creative, and where I live, I've been going out for quite a lot of walks, and we're kind of out in the countryside, so
Mm.
I've been getting quite inspired, and yeah, so
That's great. That's amazing.
yeah, and it's like my brother plays guitar as well, so we can have it, so I can kind of bounce off another
Hmm.
guitarist as well, and obviously missing the band and stuff. I love singing with piano and all sorts, but
Mm. That's amazing. It sounds like a pretty decent quarantine situation anyway. It's not the worst. Does your
I'm people and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, you just gotta crack on, haven't you, really?
Absolutely, absolutely. And does your brother want to join us for a song as well? You mentioned that he might, or no pressure.
It's a little bit tricky because he's been holding the
Oh. Oh,
hands
so he's
gone.
he's the camera stand. No problem.
So my dad's gonna hold it now.
Brilliant.
Um,
Brilliant. See, it's great being at home, isn't it? You get loads of helping hands.
you just hold it like that, Dad. Thank you. Sit down a bit.
Okay, so this is the brother. Hello, brother.
Hi, how are you doing? Well, hands a bit sore now, but there's nothing like doing things off the cuff, eh?
That's it, brother. That's it. What's your name, man?
Jack.
Jack. Okay, Jack. Nice to meet you. So this is great. This is the family band now. All of a sudden, isn't it?
That's it, yeah, rock and roll. We used to play together a lot when we were about 14, 15, and then I went to university and worked in London, so it's taken a lockdown for us to get back together again. But
Wow, that's amazing. And do you play music full time yourself, or do you just are you dabbling, or where would you classify yourself as?
I'm very much a dabbler, but
Mhm.
I'm I enjoy the dabbling.
That's brilliant. That's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Okay, so what's the name of this song you guys are going to play for us?
Okay, so this one's called Matching Suitcase.
Awesome. Take it away.
One, two, three, and summer's our best friend. When I was so different, us broken into a rich suitcase, the luggage bags, and the mom's got our body bags. I know it's been too long. We're on our way to home. I miss your smile, I miss your face, I miss your smell, it's such a taste. We're miles apart, the matching suitcase, gonna make a perfect Though the street is it is long, where the radio plays our favorite song, leading me back to you. Just in case the luggage fails, and mom's got our bodies fixed. I know it's been too long. You're right, I was wrong. We took on and then we moved to laugh with you. I miss your smile, I miss your face, I miss your sweet touch. We're lost apart, the legend suitcase. Gonna be right sun-kissed wind, whistling by night, get me feeling so baby. Gonna fly, 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 fly. I miss your smile and I miss your face. I miss your smelly touch, your taste. We're miles apart, the mansion suitcase. Gonna meet us halfway. I miss your smile and I miss your face. I miss your smelly touch, your taste. We're miles apart, the mansion suitcase. Gonna meet us
Awesome, awesome. Well done, Jack, as well.
Very much.
So that is Hayley and her brother Jack. And what's the name? There's Jack. Go on, wave to our viewers. What's the name of that song, Hayley?
That's called Matching Suitcase.
Matching Suitcase. Absolutely awesome. It's a really nice song. Are you going to be releasing that one as well this year? Is this something that you're planning?
Yeah, I'm going to be releasing that. So I've got harmonica and all sorts on that track. So it's gonna sound really kind of rootsy and lovely. So haven't got a date yet because I need to record the vocals for that one. But yeah, sometime hopefully in the summer for that one.
Awesome. And Jack's going to be starring in this one, I assume, is he in the studio?
Yeah, trying to get in a few more. The last video that we've got together, I was doing country roads back when I was about 14, and I was just looking down the full time. So I
Yeah.
want at least on one song where I'm not looking like an idiot. So
No, I mean it's so common, isn't it? I mean it's just about habit, really, isn't it, and getting used to playing. But that's great. Now you have plenty of time,
yes,
under these
Yeah,
unfortunate circumstances to kind of dabble more,
yeah,
isn't it?
he's just moved back up, so it's nice on an evening, and we've been writing a little bit as well, so it's nice.
Amazing. Well, you never know. You might grow out of the dabbling and just take it on full time, isn't it? Why not? You know.
You would love
it's
that,
a
wouldn't
plan.
you?
Yeah, no, we enjoyed that. So that's good.
That's brilliant. No, that's actually great, and it's a absolutely lovely song as well. Honestly, the camera and I wish you had a studio mic. We'll get you a studio mic somehow, and I think that'll give you so much more. You can hear that you sound amazing. The songs are really great. I would love to hear a better mic in that room, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers
I
would as
mean,
well.
yeah, a lot of my stuff is on. I've got videos on YouTube, and then my Facebook page is just
Hmm.
HAYLEY MCKAY Music. So if
Brilliant.
anyone wants to kind of, see some videos, it's all online really. And
Fantastic. That's great. Would you like to play another song for us live? I guess I think people want to hear you more, to be honest, performing than me asking questions. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, so I'll go hold the camera. Just, yeah,
Wait, Dad's doing a great job, I have to say.
done a good job. Yeah,
It's not shaky at all.
I'll take over. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, so this next song is well, it's brand new, so I thought I'd give this one a go. And I think I'm going to call it. Oh, thank you so much. This is great. Thanks, Dad.
That's water or wine? Which one's that now?
Oh, it's water.
Well, it is the weekend.
It's not 4 o'clock yet.
50 minutes left, yeah.
Okay, so this song is called Breathe. Your nights can hit me hard. My heart's racing in the dark. Feeling lost without an anchor on an ocean. I am floating far away from home. That's what you know. Try to remember how to breathe, how to breathe, how to breathe. Lift your head to the sky, see the clear blue night from sail to the wind blow. Let your words pass you by, go and go with the tide. Just sail. Oh, the little things you had missed. Oh, the empty promises in your to-do list. Suddenly, the birds are singing, my eyes open, see the world in a different pace of life. Come back to what you know. Try to remember how to breathe, how to breathe, how to breathe. Lift your head to the sky, see the clear blue night, try to sail to the wind blow. Let your words pass you by, go the moon, go with the tide. Let yourself grow. I've crossed that borderline 1, 2, 3, too many times. I need to slow this down. I've crossed that borderline 1, 2, 3, too many times. I need to slow right down. I'll cross that borderline 1, 2, 3, too many times. I need to slow right down. Lift your head to the sky, see your breath in the clear blue night. Like I said, for the wind blow. Let your words pass you by, go with the moon, go with the tide. Like I said, did he say hello? Try to remember how to breathe, how to breathe, how to breathe, how to breathe.
Woohoo! Absolutely awesome. And what's the name of this song, Hayley?
I think I'm going to call it Breathe. As
Breathe.
I say, this is a song I co-wrote like a couple of days ago, so it's completely brand new. So I'm still
Fantastic.
yeah, so it's really nice to play it in front of a little
That's
bit of
what.
an
Thanks
audience.
so much for using this platform as a debut for a song that's only a couple of days old. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So I've been writing loads of songs, but I need quite a lot of titles for them. But I think I'm going to call it Breathe. Have you got any ideas?
Well, breathe kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I
Yeah.
suppose. But some artists like to. I mean, if there is a hidden message within it, that might not be even in the lyrics. You could come up with something that's not even related lyrically. But I'm probably the worst person to ask about this. You could ask our chat, I suppose, and if anybody has any suggestions out there, you can throw it in. And
Yeah, and then comment at the side. I can't see the comments coming
I
up,
know it's
but
such a shame you can't see the comments actually. Are you thinking of doing some like live videos yourself? I mean, if you have so many songs, it seems it would make sense, wouldn't it?
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everything's on my Facebook page, just HAYLEY MCKAY Music.
Mm-hmm.
I've been tending to do videos from there on a Friday night around 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then
Great.
tomorrow night, I think. Are we? Are we doing something tomorrow
Tomorrow,
night?
yeah.
Are we?
If you like your Facebook page.
Okay. If you, yeah, yeah, just like my Facebook page, and I would say that to people, and then
Awesome. Are you doing a live show tomorrow night? Are you saying or is it
apparently,
apparently?
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. I think about 7:30.
7:30. So HAYLEY MCKAY. So find her on Facebook, give her a like, and I think as soon as you give that page a like, you're gonna get a notification that she's going live. So tomorrow night 7:30, and that's the same time as here, isn't it? I think there's no difference in time between us. And then on Friday as well, I believe. Yeah, are you gonna do a twice a week thing as well, like myself, or you just gonna see how
I'm
it
not
goes?
sure yet. I'm gonna just go with it and,
Go with
and
the flow.
see
Yeah, no,
what I say.
just feel it out.
Yeah, I'm re-releasing one of my songs called One next Friday on Spotify. So
Brilliant,
I think
brilliant.
it's the 1st of May next Friday as well, I think.
Already, which is absolutely crazy how fast this has
Uh,
has it been fast has it been fast for you guys?
In a way, you kind of have your breakfast and then you think, what's for lunch? And then suddenly it's tea time.
It's crazy how we build all these routines, isn't it? These new routines that have to be formed. But that's great. It looks like you guys are having a good time there, and I'm delighted for you that you get to express yourself still creatively, and you're working on your on many songs. So I'm really looking forward to hearing these next releases. So you have one song on Spotify and you performed it live here for us. So it's Thinking About Last Night. Well, first of all, thank you so much for joining me on my I think it's the fourth episode. So sorry if there was any kind of kinks or any kind of weird stuff there during the show. I think usually we get a little bit of lags or anything like that, but I think that was absolutely fabulous with yourself. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Really enjoyed that. Sorry for any technical Wi-Fi difficulties.
It's gonna happen, right? It's just gonna happen. But absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for performing, and I'm really looking forward to hearing those next releases. So guys, you guys at home, I'm gonna leave you with Thinking About Last Night by HAYLEY MCKAY, and definitely find her on Facebook, HAYLEY MCKAY. Music, I guess, is probably the word you probably type in after that to avoid the personal profile. And she's got her single, which she released last month. Was it April 3rd? I'm guessing here, seeing if my memory works. So I'm going to leave you guys with that before our next guest. So listen, guys, take care, the MCKAY family. See you all later. Thanks for everybody for joining us, brother and dad. Take it easy, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Roam through my closet for something to wear. Put my makeup on and fix my
Okay, guys, that was Hayley MCKAY that joined me on our first guest for today. And what an awesome, awesome conversation we had there. And that was her song Thinking About Last Night. So, yeah, it was really cool. That was first time speaking with, getting to know Hayley as well. And I only heard her music literally yesterday. So it was really cool just to get to know somebody so quick on these shows. So thanks so much for joining me, and thank you guys at home for staying tuned. So we got 17 viewers. That's absolutely amazing. Who do we have in there? We've got Amy Murphy. Lovely introduction and lovely words. Well, thanks so much, Amy, and thank you for sending that track into us. Kate Jane, hello, Jack. Dave Duggan, I'm back. My internet is crap, in and out. Show's going amazing. But thanks, man. It's always good to see you logged in. B Mendes, that's my mother. Hello, ma'am. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. And Rob Cunningham is in the house as well. Rob, what's the story? I hope you made it in for your track, actually, which I thought was pretty amazing. So thanks for sending that in. You should get that on Spotify. People would love that. So yeah, guys, I'm bringing on my next guest, who is just Dave. So he just recently released his EP called Losing Sleep, and he has a fantastic music video as well to a song called I Give Up, which is just really, really, I was absolutely amazed by the quality of the song, and the video quality as well is absolutely brilliant. And he's actually running a competition as well. I don't know if the competition has finished. Maybe we'll find out. But he's giving away 50 quid on his page. So just to make the lockdown a little bit more interesting, which I think is great. And I'm thinking of doing something like that maybe myself. But I'm really excited to be chatting to Just Dave. Let's see if we can get him onto the show. Here we go. Jeez, thank God for Zoom. So yeah, when you pop in, do say hello. You know, don't be shy. It's always nice to see who's watching. I can't always see everybody, so all I know is I have 18 viewers, which is amazing. But do communicate and give me an hello. I'm not going to bite, don't worry. And it's all fairly casual. I hope you are all having a lovely day. What a beautiful day today. So let's see. Dave, how's it going, man? Can you hear me? Let's see, connecting to audio, great stuff. Hayley MCKAY's in the chat. Cheers, Kozak, and thanks to everyone tuning in. My music, Hayley MCKAY. Yes, you can find her on Hayley MCKAY on Facebook. So Dave, just unmute your microphone. It's just on the left side of the screen. I think you might have unmuted it. Did you get it? There we go, man. How are you keeping, man?
How are you? I'm good, man.
Yeah, good. All things considered, huh?
That's it, under the circumstances.
Oh Jesus! How have you been keeping busy anyway? Are you working on new music, or are you practicing, or are you just chilling? What's kind of your vibe at the moment?
Doing a lot of writing, and decided to do some renovations as well. Touch of paint.
Nice.
Inspiration doesn't exactly come easy between four walls all day, So
that's it. It's hard to force it, isn't it? So a lot of people are expecting, musicians to, you can work within the walls and blah blah blah, and it has to come naturally. Do you think the same?
Yeah, anything forced ends up getting shelved.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't connect to it realistically either, right? You're not going to truly enjoy it. It doesn't really come from you, right?
Yeah, you need an element of that, in any song. If you're totally disconnected from it, it's as good as gone,
Yeah, you're not going to perform that song live anyway, for sure. Yeah. So how long are you? Because you're quite young, man. What age are you?
25.
Oh, you're not that young. What am I thinking? Why did I think you were young? Well, I'm old, maybe. That's the issue. So how long are you playing music? Tell us how long you're in the music industry.
Long time. First started learning instruments and stuff when I was a kid, and from there it just kind of progressed. Like I learned a couple of different instruments. So like I went to a studio and just lay a tune down, so to speak.
Mm.
And yeah, as the years went on, I just focused more on me writing and stuff. And I was in like a lot of different bands over the years.
Mm.
And then, yeah, I just kind of decided enough with the drama, I suppose. And yeah, I just decided like I'm gonna put something out just myself for the change. And
I remember when I met you first at the Crystal Skull sessions, I was like, why is it just Dave? And you were like, well, it used to not be just me. It used to be me and four other people. And I was like, oh, this is the solo project. So how long are you solo now? How long are you doing things on your own sort of course?
I'd say I mainly sat down and actually start writing all the tracks for Losing Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's the EP that just came out. And say that was about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so relatively recent anyway. And what's like, have you been, because I assume like, you know, on your own, do you find that you need to keep up the motivation more yourself? Is it harder? Is it easier? What's the difference between being solo and in a band in that regard?
It's kind of a bit of both, to be honest. Like there's times where, yeah, you'd be sitting around and you really should probably be doing something like constructive. And yeah, there's no one exactly there to push you or help motivate you. But at the same time, then there's having your own vision for where you need to go, and just understanding that for yourself, and you're the only obstacle basically between that and actually getting up and getting the stuff done to get you closer to that goal, like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, me as like someone that wants to sort of work for myself, you know, as well, I can really relate, you know. And you do have to self-motivate. And I guess, I don't know if you found this, like, but I've definitely found like the motivation to sort of even work on myself as a person, right? Because if you have to hold up the foundations of, in your case, just Dave, you know, your brand, your music, your creativity, you have to hold that up essentially. You're the foundation of it, just like I'd be the foundation of deMars and all that stuff that comes along with it. You do have to have sort of a strong spine and a, you know, a tough neck and stuff, like to be able to hold that stuff up, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'd say that's the hardest thing in today's industry, is everything being digital now, and music is the way it is. Like it's not the same as it used to be. Even like recording, you can do like in your own home, like, you know.
Yeah. What's
And there's a lot of people like can submit music on Spotify and stuff like that. So it's kind of more important than ever to actually build a brand and promote, so to speak, rather than, it's not all just about the music anymore, like, you know?
Yeah. Nobody else will even do that for you, right? Like there used to be like the record label would snap you up if you were good, and then they would do all that sort of work. But now it's kind of like the individual has to do all that, so more energy gets taken out of you, basically. What do you think is like the most I don't know if that's even a good question, but I was just kind of wanted to know, like, what's like the most difficult thing in like the Irish music industry, I guess, like that you've found, or like the most frustrating thing, or something like that was a little bit challenging, or you thought, is there something? And I can move on to the next one if that's not anything relevant with yourself.
No, yeah, I think the main thing that I've heard like down the grapevine has been sort of the freebie culture thing we have here. Like a lot of times you'll find that like gigs are put on where like people are paid with experience. Yeah. And then at the same time, artists are kind of thinking like, well, experience doesn't put food on the table, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's a common problem lately, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying it, like, you know?
Yeah.
Just around Dublin, and there's a few different artists that I've talked to. And it seems to be a trending thing these days. But then in other cities like London and the like, it doesn't seem to be as bad. in that respect. Like there's still a scene there for
They're still
emerging
getting
artists
paid.
for what they're doing. Like, you know.
Absolutely, it might be something that Dublin needs to sort of amend, because it's kind of a case of like if enough people are doing it, it just becomes a common nature, right? And it shouldn't be
Yeah.
that way. It should start to be perhaps regulated in a way, or however. But there's definitely a lot of kind of issues within the industry with regard to that, and I suppose like as well, I heard it was like rent prices as well for venues and things like that are just it's just too much. So there's a lot of issues in there, isn't there, with financially within the
Yeah.
music industry, which is a shame. And I wonder, like, have you ever thought of like moving out or finding another city? Are you comfortable with the Irish music scene as it is? Because you're an amazing musician, man. Like I think of you very highly. I think you're absolutely fantastic. You know, so for me, I always wanted like the best for people that deserve it, and you definitely do. So what have your thoughts been? It's sort of like being here and versus somewhere else, perhaps.
I suppose I've always looked at the Irish music industry as being like a stepping stone industry. Like people
I
tend to
agree.
people tend to be maybe discovered here, but then just as soon they're packed up and shipped out to somewhere else, and they'll either be in London or in America, somewhere like that. Like the Irish music industry has always been. We have some great Irish artists and bands going back like decades, like, you know. But like a lot of the time they're just like they start off here, yeah, but the industry here never tends to grow, even though there's a lot of artists that come to be discovered
Yeah,
in Ireland.
yeah,
Like the likes of U2 and stuff, they came from Dublin, but packed up, shipped off, and that's that. The industry in Ireland
absolutely.
kind of stays the same, like, you know. So
Yeah,
it's I've always kind of seen it more as the aim for an Irish musician is to get out of Ireland eventually.
yeah.
Like,
Unfortunately, really, really unfortunate thing. Like, but it does seem to be the case. What's well, let's lighten the mood anyway. Let's hear us. Do you want to play a song for us today, or a couple of tunes? You up
yeah,
for
have a bit of a setup here. And we'll see
Oh
how
yeah,
it-
deadly man, deadly. Yeah, set yourself up there, and I'm going to give you the floor. And if you want to, you can play two tunes in a row, and then I'll bother you maybe with a couple of more questions if you don't mind.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Deadly. There you go. Welcome, Kieran Brennan and Barry J. Hughes. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we're just here with Just Dave, who's going to give us a couple of songs.
I coming through okay?
Yeah, man, that's lovely. Bit of reverb,
Little bit, just a touch.
little smidgen. Give us could you give us like maybe like 5 seconds or 10 seconds of your vocals with the guitar? I just check the volumes of them.
I've been around so long.
Yeah, that's perfect, bro.
I know your game.
Perfect.
Coming
Sounds
through
good.
all right?
Sounds good.
Might as well go for that one soon as I started it.
Go for it, man. It's a sign.
Okay, this one is called I Give Up, which is the one you were complimenting the video of, which I appreciate. That is available on Spotify with the whole rest of the EP, so you can go ahead and stream that if you like. I've been around so long, baby, I know your game. You let me think I found a leg, so unbreakable and strong, turns out you're all the same. But you were happy with my love. When I loved you oh so much, I went and lose myself. But when I need the healing love back in return, you turn your back like everybody else. I know I'm not perfect, but if you waited your hours away, so I take these pieces of broken heart, use them to build a wall, build it up twice as high, no one else gets the prize. I feel bloodshed, hate this mind. I feel always try to make it to you. I would spend no spend. And if I wasn't telling you about you, you went through right by you, shiny day. There's not no time to be up. I did it all so you can love and that's the honest truth. Let you know now your day goes by. It's space ain't on my mind like I'm supposed to do. You know always perfect. So keep on looking, baby, you will find. While I take you pieces of broken heart, do some to build a wall. Build it up twice as high, so no one else gets around. I feel bloodshed, breathe inside. I feel I'll take these pieces of broken heart, I'll build it up twice as high, so no one else gets the prize. I you love should hurt against mine. I you
Deadly, man.
Is that all coming true okay?
Sounds good to me. Guys, let us know in the comment section, how does that sound for you? And give Dave
Sounds a
some
bit
love as
moody.
well.
Like this song.
Do you know what? It's never going to be perfect, man. You know yourself. It's always a little tricky.
This next one is a new one. I actually wrote this one on lockdown, so it's a bit of a showcase of what I've been up to for the past week. Baby, if you get this, then it means I can't make it back to you. And if I had just 10 more seconds left to live, I'd wanna spend it all with you. If I could think one thought before I'm gone, I'd call up all those memories away. Like children watching Netflix, girl, you fall asleep while I take your mind. What is unthinkable will happen sometimes consuming. All we had was all the memories we made. Would you feel my life go out if I was dead and gone tomorrow? Would you feel the heart and get the pain of the grief and all the sorrow? I think of all the times I got to hold you in my life. I was lucky cause I found you no matter the hundred years Baby, I'm so sorry that I can't keep my story going strong. Cause before I up and lost myself, we belonged in the world for a fairy tale song. With nothing left, we did our best. Nothing, no princess or prince had a patch on her. So you understand why I wanna fix no swear for fairy godmother in my wish. What if we can make the wrong happen sometimes? So many know we had was all the memories we made. Would you feel my life go out if I was dead and gone somehow? Would you feel my heart and get the pain of the grief and all the sorrow? I think of all the times I got to hold you in my life. I was lucky cause I found you no matter the hundred years time. 100 million stars. 100 million, 100 million stars. 100 million, 100 million stars. 100 million, 100 million stars.
Awesome, man. Awesome. That's Just Dave, guys. And what's have you thought of a name for that song?
Yeah, it's 100 million stars. It's actually on the
100 million
EP.
stars.
I just finished it off in time to squeeze it on there.
Wow, no way. So yeah, and that's it, man. Because that EP released. When did you release that? That was a couple of weeks ago, right?
Just about 1 week ago now.
Wow, that is crazy. And so, were you gonna have a launch party at a venue?
Yeah, that was the idea, was to try and organize something like that, but unfortunately, disaster struck and the world ended for the time being. So
Yeah. And so, when did you do the music video? Was it in January? Or
no,
was it
that was
during?
actually, it was just before the lockdown.
No way. So, because the
Like,
streets are pretty empty in it, right? So,
yeah, like even before the government like imposed the restrictions,
brilliant.
Temple Bar was empty because all the pubs were after closing. So
Yeah.
thought it seized the moment. And
Fair play to you. That's great timing, man. That's absolutely great for a music video because it almost looks like because you rarely see Temple Bar or Dame Street that empty, right? So it
yeah,
was almost perfectly sort of orchestrated, right, to get sort of like that empty sort of vibe. Um, I don't know, like in relation to the song, was it? Because you could sort of relate that almost, isn't it? That I give up, even the name of the song, and you could sort of
yeah,
relate that to sort of like the sort of emptiness of sort of one's
yeah,
own
yeah,
feeling. But I related to that. Obviously, people relate to songs differently, including the artist. But it just worked out great. It seemed for yourself.
yeah. No, it did. Like it was a good idea. I was working with Adam Carney from AK Productions, and yeah, it was just the two of us. Just went in, knocked heads.
Mm. Great. No, it's
Job done.
it's fantastic, man. So that's AK Productions, is it?
AK Productions, yeah.
AK Productions, guys. Any musicians out there, check these guys out because that's really I was really impressed, man. And it's great because the music is so well produced as well. So like to have a high production video to accompany a high production recordings
Yeah.
is you just had the perfect package, man. It just worked out really well for you. So fair play to you. Like that was really done properly. in my opinion
Thanks, man.
anyway. Yeah, no, it's great. What are you kind of hankering for? What do you want to do like after this whole thing? Like, is there anything in your head like that you want to do, like gig music wise? Do you want a
Um,
gig, or do you want to go straight into the studio, or what's kind of your
sort
feeling?
of a bit of both. I'm already getting started on my second project now, so we should have another Just AVP to look forward to in the next couple of months.
That's
But
amazing, man. It's great.
I'm hoping by around then that things will have calmed down enough that like me and other fellow artists can get back gigging and properly like promoting ourselves, doing what we do. Like, it's kind of hard doing it from the other side of the phone sometimes. So
Absolutely, man. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we will be pros at this whole live shtick anyway by the end of this. So it is a little bit handy, I guess, to be able to use this platform to kind of grab people internationally, isn't it? But it's not incomparable to the sort of live gig situation that we're all familiar to, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
like that's when you really connect with a person on a level where you can make a fan of them. Do you know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
so much stuff buzzing around on social media every day that like,
Yeah, it's much more memorable.
like, you know.
Yeah, way more memorable when it's like when you meet someone face to face as well. You remember that person much more than just through a digital platform, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
What's kind of your biggest influences? Like, who would you classify as your biggest musical influences?
Yeah, I don't know.
What
It's a
did
good question.
Mm.
Um,
It's a very cliche question. I think everybody asked that question.
yeah, I
It
know,
was a
I
cheap
can
one.
never answer it though.
Well, good. Maybe you don't need to answer it.
I don't know. I'd say I just fall somewhere between people that like anybody that writes songs about things that actually kind of record, you know.
Hmm.
I've always kind of music is a medicine, you know.
Mm.
So like I've kind of always used it in that sense myself, as well as obviously wanting to be successful and have a career.
Yeah.
It gets you through all the tough times, and then the tough times kind of give you the ammunition that you need then to take on the industry, so to speak.
100%, man. No, that's amazing. I'd love to ask you more questions and have a chat with you, man, because this is great, man. I'm enjoying to chat with you, and I'm enjoying to catch up and just getting to know your musical process. But I have
Yeah.
two more guests today, so would you like to finish off with another live song, and then I'll play your music video as well after that?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
This is an old song. I'm thinking of re-releasing this on the whole Just Dave banner. Why do you touch yourself? Break down the bridges you need to get back to what you left. Yes, I know you made plans and that you should agree. But you were born by many years to be late beyond no. And I tell you what's wrong. Control your inspiration from the legend of the old. Try to be solid. The life may not work out for us, so break it down some times. Today, you must learn to let go of what you know. What you got to be sad about. Everything you want is now. Crying never makes it fair. You'll rise above the stormy weather. Just try it right. Real life is no such thing as right inside. Why do you question yourself? Look in the mirror and you're looking back at someone else. You're stuck in this day and age. All the natural beauty in this world that So tell me why you even try. No extensions that exist, no templates like. Oh, baby, just know when emotion. You're all you want to be, and that's the thing in that notion. Must have been let go of what you know, what you got to be sad about. Everything you want is now. Cry you never makes it fair. Rise above the stormy weather. Just try to run. Realize that there's no such thing as right beside. No such thing. 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 Maybe you must learn to let go of what you love, what you got to be sad about. Everything you want is now. Crying never makes it better. Rise above the stormy weather. Just try to run. Realize that no such thing as brighter.
Awesome, man. That is great. And what's the name of that song?
Yeah, that's Brighter Side. That is an old track that I never actually got around to properly releasing. So
Brilliant, brilliant. So you're thinking of re-recording it or recording it and releasing that as well?
yeah, I'm probably gonna get that out. Just kind of stocking stuff on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A bonus track or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's great, man. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you, man, and catching up.
Well, man, thanks for having me, man.
No
It's
problem.
great to have these things to do as well, you know.
Yeah, it keeps the community alive, doesn't it? It's like going to a
You
gig.
know, everybody's still having some FaceTime, and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's good. Keeps
Bit of,
everybody occupied. So fair play to you for organising it.
no problem. It's absolutely my pleasure, and thanks so much for being a part of it and sharing a part of yourself as well, man. It's great. It's definitely nice, like, 'cause it kind of makes you sort of feel like everything's normal. Do you know what I mean? Like doing something like this for a split second, you forget sort of what's going on.
It's a bit more connected.
Yeah, yeah. So before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to say to our viewers? Anything about your upcoming? I suppose you'd plug your upcoming, or sorry, your recently released EP, Losing Sleep, right? Is there
Yeah.
anything else you'd like to sort of mention?
Um, yeah, well, like you said, the EP is just out. You can find that on Spotify, and there is 2 tracks that I had videos made for, which you can find on YouTube. So Instagram, Just Dave Music on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and official Just Dave on Facebook and YouTube. So
Brilliant.
if you like what you hear, come and check me out.
Absolutely awesome, Dave. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. So best of luck with everything, man. Best of luck with the creative process, and enjoy the rest of your time. I guess hopefully writing songs and doing things like this. So check out Just Dave, guys. I'm gonna let you go with I Give Up, which is, dude, it's an amazing video. So anyway, I'm gonna show these people because they've been hearing all about it. So I'm gonna let you go, brother. Take it easy.
All the best, man.
See ya. Bye, bye, bye. Just Dave with I Give Up, and that was his music video, which was recorded only a couple of weeks ago, just before the full lockdown. So what amazing timing, and what a great song and great music video. It's nice to see Dublin City again. I feel like I haven't seen it in such a long time. Well, I haven't seen it in such a long time, so it was really nice to see it. A little bit surreal, seeing it that empty, of course. But yeah, his EP is out on Spotify, Losing Sleep. Just Dave, definitely check him out. And yeah, of course on Facebook as well. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our next guest, Ian Brennan. So Ian Brennan, I've known Ian from the music scene for quite a long time. We met, I think it was about 8 years ago at the check-in gigs. So and I've been following him on social medias and all that kind of stuff. So he's an absolutely amazing singer-songwriter. He released his debut album, Start As You Mean To Go On, last year, which has 10 fantastic tracks on it. Absolutely really, really good tracks. He's got a great music video out for his song, which was a single, Circles. It's actually a very funny video, very well done as well. So I definitely recommend checking that out. He got a Best Irish Newcomer Award by Pure M Magazine, and he supported legends such as Aslan, Mary Coughlin, Dick Valentine, Keela, and Declan O'Rourke, which is absolutely awesome. I never knew that about him. He had 3 sold-out headline shows in Avenue by Nick Munier and Workman's Club, and the Cobblestone as well. So he did 3 sold-out shows. He also did the Back to Basics tour with Greg Clifford, who we chatted with on our very first show, and they did that alongside with Barry J. Hughes. And he hosts his own live show as well called Quarantine Sessions, spelled IANN, which is his first name, how he spells it at the end of quarantine. So yeah, Ian Brennan, let's see if we can get him on. And here he is. Fantastic stuff. That's great. I love this technology. It feels like I'm just doing everything at once, and it's so smooth. It's brilliant. How's it going, Ian? Can you hear me? There we go. It usually takes a few minutes for the sound to come on. How's it going, man? You well?
All good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Listening to some great music, having some good chats. How was that fry up, man? Was it good? Did it go down well? Amazing. Great. So you're well.
As always.
As always. That's absolutely brilliant, man. So how's everything been as a musician for you, man, over the past couple of weeks? Like, it's obviously crazy what's going on, but how have you been keeping busy yourself?
Yeah, all good, man. It's crazy. Went from gigging to 4 or 5 nights a week. Just nothing.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know what to be doing with myself at night time around the house, so it's a bit odd.
And do you work as well during the day or normally?
No.
Full-time musician.
Yeah. So it's constantly being in the house now. So
it's a hard one, isn't it? Yeah. And how often are you doing your live streamings now?
I'm doing 2 videos a week.
Okay.
Wednesdays and Saturdays today, so there'll be one out tonight as well. Yeah, so it's all going well. It's all going good.
Yeah, I guess it's like you have to you have to be positive in times like these, right? And musicians have an amazing way of turning stuff around and looking at it positively, right?
Yeah, definitely. I would have never thought in a million years doing YouTube videos and stuff like that was never something. I always wanted to do it, but I just never, I don't want to say found the time, but never had it in me to do it.
Yeah.
And now I have literally nothing else to do, and it's given me the push I need to go and do it, and I'm really enjoying it. Like, really enjoying it.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, it's definitely something that we would not have expected to have to do. And I'm the same. Like I sort of like obviously hosting gigs myself and performing as well. There's nothing beats the live element of even like having a conversation with someone. There's a difference between me and you having a chat through this technology versus just running into each other in a bar and having a chat. There's a different sort of connection, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a lot more isolated and awkward this way, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I'm getting used to it a little bit. I've surprised myself on sort of how I don't think I'm making the guests awkward at all at the moment. I've been looking.
No, you're not. You're doing a great job. To be fair, you're doing a great job.
Cheers. No, honestly,
watching all day.
I'm surprised I didn't get into this sooner or something. I think maybe this is my new career now. Is just obviously I couldn't do this every day or what. You need to go outside, obviously.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like, it's good because, and I suppose as this is your 4th episode, isn't it? So I suppose as you go along, you will learn new things and you'll improve every week and you'll write down
100%.
different things. Yeah. It's all good, man. All good.
Yeah,
Great job.
Deadly. No, that's great to hear, man. What's so what do you miss the most? Obviously the gigging live and stuff like that. Like, but what's kind of your thing that you sort of get? You know, when you wake up in the morning, you forget that this is happening. What would you sort of be expecting to do?
The biggest thing I miss, look, apart from gigging, is just being in recording studios and just being. It's hard not to say gigs, man. It is the big thing, like, because I gig so much. Like, I do lots of cover gigs and stuff like that as well. That's how I earn money. So from doing that 5 nights a week to just nothing it's awful, to be honest. Sooner the better this all blows over, but it is giving me a chance again to try the video aspect and stuff, but it's not the same. And I actually read an article last night that said that that rapper, what's his name, some rapper, Travis Scott, I want to say, is it? Don't know, too young for me. He done some concert over Fortnite, which is nuts.
Really?
Live on Fortnite, like the game.
Yeah.
He done a concert and it brought millions of viewers, like.
And
so I read an article to say, like, is this the way music's going? Please.
Yeah. It's on Twitch, I guess, because that's another streaming sort of platform, and it's become huge now with sort of the younger generation, right? Because streaming games as well has become huge. So yeah, you're right. Has it become the future with music now? Streaming music.
Well, the same. Like, I'm going to be doing live videos every Sunday night now. Hopefully, going live for an hour and a half or 2 hours, just trying to keep momentum up and trying to keep the name out there. But it's just not the same. It's not the same. When you finish your song and you're waiting on the round of applause, it doesn't come. The atmosphere is different. I done a gig in my living room here last Sunday, and excuse me, I was the most nervous I've been doing a gig in. I done the Olympia last summer, and it was more nervous than doing that. Like, it was crazy. It's like you're saying, it can be awkward. Like, you're missing the things that you're used to. You're missing the energy.
Yeah.
You're missing the energy, like the energy of being in the room, and it's crazy. Like, if there's nobody in the room, there's no energy. How can you connect with an audience? Gotta hope. I don't think it will go this way. I think we're miles away from that. But
no, it's hard to tell. Like, I've reduced, like, myself to not, like, expecting anything anymore, but just going as the day comes. And I'm sure everybody has to kind of do that. There's not much more. We can always speculate and stuff like that, but it's amazing how, like, you know, we're able to adapt, though. That's an amazing feat anyway. We're all adapting the best we can to the situation, right? So we are kind of creating something positive, and even if it's, like, okay, taking us away from our normal sense of reality, which is a huge shocker, we're still able to share a bit of ourselves as musicians. Like, you guys, you know, I don't play music per se like that, but I have a platform, let's say, to spread that, but we're still able to kind of keep people entertained in a way. It's not the same, but the fact that that's still possible,
it's great. It is great.
It's interesting
for a temporary basis.
For a temporary basis, exactly. Yeah.
It is great for a temporary basis.
What venues do you play in regularly anyway?
So every Sunday and Friday I play the Oak on Parliament Street in Temple Bar, and then different spots I play with a band's mixture of originals and covers on Saturday nights. Then on Friday nights and Thursday nights I do cover gigs as well. So
great.
And then I do the odd open mic then Mondays and
for the original
Wednesdays. But playing 7 nights a week is too much.
It's a bit too much, yeah. And like, is there any covers? Like, cause how do you rotate all the covers and stuff like that, like, to make it interesting and stuff, or how does that work?
Look, I my book that I have with me, my phone that I keep in front of me on the mic stand I've over 500 songs there. Right. I can just flick through and do, like, you know. So
amazing.
There's something there for everyone. 9 times out of 10, I go on to Ultimate Guitar. If I don't know it, I'll go on and I'll chance my arm doing it. Like, that's at 1 a.m. when everyone's drunk, no one cares as long as the chorus is right, isn't it?
Yeah. and I suppose, like, those pubs, you bring in a lot of tourists, right? So I mean, you could play almost the same set every night and nobody would. You get nobody.
Yeah, big time. I used to do a slot in the Guinness Storehouse of a Friday or a Sunday. Used to vary every week, and it was only 40 minutes. You could play Wonderwall 10 times or any song 10 times.
The people
different
rotate
crowds.
so fast.
Yeah. You might get 20 people in the room that are watching it, but the other 150, 200 are just rotating, walking around. Like, it's
that's amazing.
Temple Bar can be a bit like that if you do it at a certain time. Like, I used to do gig in the pubs from 3 till 5 in the afternoon, like in some bars, and it is just people coming in, having a pint next pub and stuff. But as soon as you get to like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, those gigs, it's like, right, people are here to stay. So
Awesome.
but like if the gig is like, I always have CDs with me for sale, and I always throw in a couple of originals as well. And
Yeah, so you get to upsell sort of your actual passion through this. So it's amazing how they both go hand in hand in a way, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
it's
like
nice,
if the
it's
audience is
convenient.
super attentive, well then yeah, we'll throw in a lot more originals than I would if they weren't, like, you know.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
you get people coming up and saying to you, "Oh my God, that's your song," and all. Where can I get it? Where can I buy it? And stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's
But
great.
you try sell a CD. I made the mistake of getting CDs made. And there's a good few of them sitting here now. If anyone wants to buy one, throw me a message.
Nobody buys
But
CDs, do
Who
they?
has a CD player these days?
Yeah. So go on. I'll let you play a tune actually, because I'm sure you're
So this
hankering for one.
this one I'm gonna play is called Getaway,
Getaway Deadly.
and it's off the album. I think you requested this one.
Yeah,
right?
I love that
This
tune.
one's for you.
Yeah. Awesome. Nice
Yeah.
one, brother.
Your hair was brown, eyes are blue, lips were cold as the rain poured down. I won't go, I can't stay. Come with me, we can get away. I won't go, I can't stay. With me, we can get away. It's a funny feeling of being by your side. Something I can't seem to hide. That winter's night I saw you first. My heart lit up, my heart was cursed. I won't go, I can't stay. Come with me, we can get away. I won't go, I can't stay. Come with me, we can. I don't know, I can't say. Come with me, we can get away. I won't go, but I can't stay. Come with me, we can get away. Get
Awesome, man. That's great. It's nice to hear the acoustic version of it as well. So it's nice to get the contrast.
Yeah, it's it was one of the first songs I'd written knowing I was going into record an album.
And
If that makes sense.
And the name for Start As You Mean to Go On, like how does that come? How did that come about for you?
So
That's the name of the album, by the way, guys.
yes, I thought you were telling me. I was like, I know.
Forget there's more people watching. Yeah, it's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't actually see anyone on Facebook, so
See, that's a shame. You can't see the You can't see the comments or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody commenting. Kieran Brennan's commented. Ian Brennan.
Yeah, of course he
that's
has.
it. Of course he has, yeah.
No, the title track, or the title of the album even, I had no intentions of doing an album. I had intentions of going in and actually recording a lot of singles. As you were saying to just Dave beforehand, the way to go is singles. But when we listened to the first 4 or 5 songs that we done, it all just flowed together so well. And that's an album should be, in my opinion, should be a flow of music.
Yeah. And did
So-
you go on? Sorry.
It was actually, we were in the studio and so the producer actually said, well, look, we'll start as you mean to go on with doing the album. If you go on with this much effort into it, then yeah, keep going, make it an album, make it such and such. So that's kind of where the title came from.
Did you have all the songs, the 10 songs sort of mapped out and everything in pre-production, or did something come in last minute or anything like that for you?
It was supposed to be a 9-track album, and then we had finished most of the tracks, and then I wrote the next song I'm going to play in a couple of minutes, Our River. I wrote that song. I wrote that song very quickly. It was written in maybe 15, 20 minutes in the studio on the spot. Kind of it'd be nice to have one more song kind of thing. And I actually started it out quite slowly, as you naturally do on the acoustic. And then that's where the producer really works the magic by saying, look, hold on, let's flip the tempo here. Let's totally drive this and let's get this going. And he did. The work was amazing. What Ray Traynor was the producer.
Brilliant. So that's, so Dave Duggan as well worked with Ray Traynor, which you mentioned earlier on.
Good friends of Ray, yeah.
That's brilliant. So, okay, I guess you segued yourself into your next song, brother. So let's...
I have.
Let's hear it. Our River. Let's do it, man. Nice one.
How's it sound? All good?
It sounds good on my side. Let us know, guys, in the chat if everything sounds all right. But yeah, it sounds all good on my end anyway.
All right. Take it away. I guess I was tired of drying up in conversation. I'm always left with nothing to say. I wish I could change everything about you. I guess you will always be this way. Your mind's been torn apart and you know it can't be fixed. Your eyes fill up with tears and you know that this is it. So she said, our river has run dry and a star has faded into the sky. I know it can't be found. Our light has run out and a spark is gone. I've no doubt and I know it can come back. Or was it that I was wrong or that I was right? Or did we ever really try? Or now I'm there, I always look back. I wouldn't change you for the world. Your mind's been torn apart and you know it can't be fixed. Your eyes fill up with tears and you know that this is it. So she said, our river has run dry and a star has faded into the sky. I know it can't be found. Our light has run out and a spark is gone. I've no doubt and I know it can come back. Oh, But our river has run dry and a star has faded into the sky. I know it can't be found.
Awesome, man. That's great. That's Our River.
Cheers, mate.
I should
Yeah,
have
Dave
like,
Duggan actually did backing vocals on that one. Actually, he did.
no way. Well, there you go, Dave Duggan. I should have like a like an audience clapping sort of sound or something maybe.
That'd be great.
After
That'd
this,
be great,
I'm
yeah.
going to work through all that kind of stuff. What made you? So that's from the album as well. Start As You Mean to Go On, and Circles as well. Which is that the only music video you have at the moment? Is it from that album?
Yeah. So
Okay.
so the album was expensive.
What-
The music video
But
was we said look, I said, look, if I'm gonna do an album, I want to do it properly. I want to get a top producer. I want to, and I did, and it was worth every penny. I regret absolutely nothing from it. The music video, we said let's do a total, just off the scale music video of just how weird and just something different.
Yeah, it
You know,
definitely is different, and it's great. I think it was. What made you choose Circles though? Was it not hard to choose out of 10 songs?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I have a soft spot for that song, Circles, because Circles came from me playing in bands for years and years, and I could never get it right. It started off as a punk song, believe it or not, playing in heavy rock bands. Like we used to play in Future Phantoms when we play with your gigs in the check-in and stuff like that. We would have played it then, and it was really fast, but it was never right. So when I brought it to Ray and I kind of slowed it down, Ray was like, "Look, this is the way this song needs to be." I showed him old recordings of how it used to be, and he was like, "No, look, this the whatever way this is how it needs to be." So I suppose I don't know if I ever had an intention of ever releasing it. I don't even know if I had an intention of putting it on the record even. But when I listened to the producer and he said, "Look, this song needs to go on it. This is the one. Basically, this is the one that will get you from there to there." So I listened to him, and he worked his magic on it. We took it right back, stripped everything away, brought it back to its bare minimum. Ray worked his magic, put the drums on it. I did all the guitar for it, and Derek did the keyboards for it, and it just felt right. It felt like the one that was yeah, it was the right choice. It was the right choice to go.
How long did you spend with Ray in the studio? How long does that process usually take for 10 songs?
It was just over a year.
Over a year, wow, yeah.
Just over a year, because I don't know if I had the idea of an album going in. So going in, I thought, well, I'm just gonna do this song, and then a couple of weeks I'll do this song. So I want to
get
release
you.
them as singles. But when we actually kind of done a bit of pre-production, Ray kind of said, "Well, look, let's do this as an album. Let's spend time on this." And I was a bit of a nightmare, I'd say, to work with. I was never happy with things when it came. The hardest thing during the actual album process, and I'm sure a lot of musicians go through this, is that when something's different, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
that's good.
so-
I mean, at least in a way, you kind of knew, you had an expectation, I guess, in a way in your head of how you wanted it to sound, right? Which I think that's a good thing to have,
Yeah,
right?
so we wanted it to sound like Ian Brennan was a band. We didn't want it to sound like one man with a band around him. We wanted it to sound like this was a band, and we pulled that off.
Definitely,
I believe we pulled that off. So I mean, if I put any of those tracks on and I said, "Look, this is a band," people would go, "Cool." Like, whereas some people listen, like if you listen to Ed Sheeran or you listen to any of those other artists, it's you can tell it's a solo.
Yeah,
The
100%.
production, you know what I mean. You can tell, right? Well, this is Ed Sheeran, and you know what I mean. So,
And you perform those live with the band that you play on Saturdays with, you're saying, in between the covers.
yeah. Well, sometimes I chop and change musicians if they're not.
So you'd session musician kind of
Yeah.
on Saturdays, right? Yeah, great.
Now, well, for the cover gigs, yeah. And if I'm not using the same lads, well, then I'll just do the covers.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like if something happens, but when it's a bigger gig, I use the same for other 4 people. So
Okay, amazing, man. And,
yeah, all really good.
Yeah, no, it's great. What's like, because you've been gigging quite a while, man. Not to say you're older, and I think we're the same age, but like what?
I'm nearly 30, man. I'm old.
What?
I'm
You're nearly
30.
30. I've already hit 30. What the fuck? Shit,
You're old.
I always thought you were older than me. by like 2 years, maybe. By like 2 years, not much.
Well,
But what's like, what would you is there any advice like you could give people, like, let's say starting out or something, like, or that are already in it, like, to sort of, you know, I don't know.
I would say just solely try to be yourself. As David Bowie said, don't play to the gallery. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be yourself. If you can't be yourself, you can't truly get your message across.
Great, amazing advice.
So-
Yeah, and that goes for actually anything, even outside of music, right?
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And as well, if you're doing something in a studio and it's different, it's
Mm-hmm.
not bad. Bring it home, just listen to it. Different is not bad, it's just different.
Mm.
That trying to drill that into myself was a bit of a disaster, to be honest.
I guess
So I was getting
yeah.
things back and I was going, look, I don't like this. This is not the way it's supposed to be, but I wasn't giving anything a chance.
Mm.
So
It's a
Yeah.
great growth, sort of self-growth, isn't it? Doing these
the
kind of
learning,
things.
the learning curve was
Mm.
incredible.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing because it's like you work on yourself. It's not even you as a musician or anything. It's you as a person, which is so valuable.
Yeah, it's
You wouldn't
yeah,
expect
you-
it.
no, you grow so much, and the difference of having a producer to not having one. I've gone in with my band previous, and we wouldn't have had the budget for growing up for a producer. Excuse
Yeah,
me. So, I mean, just having one there and actually listening to him, taking in what he has to say, and listening to him was. Well, what's the point in
that's amazing.
hiring a producer if you're not going to listen to him? So
Well, especially someone like that. He's very well renowned, of course.
yeah.
Well, so I don't have too much time because we have one more guest.
Yeah,
I'd love to chat to you for a lot longer. There's definitely more
Oh,
questions.
we'll definitely be up for a point when this all blows over. It's been too long.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, definitely. You're gonna leave us with and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you play a song live if you want to play, of course. And I'm gonna play one of your tracks from your album after I interviewed the next band, just so I get them on. next,
Yeah,
just to
perfect.
let
Yeah,
you know.
so I'm gonna play a new song. This is gonna be the next single I'm going to do.
Deadly.
This was called Mission to Mars.
Great, take it.
I've seen them all the stories that I can tell you. I've seen them fall way down to nothing at all. And you're always with me everywhere that I go. Although I'm alone, I can feel you right beside me. On my mission to Mars, I'll show you all of the stars. On my mission to Mars, I'll show you all of the stars. Where I wanna go, you know, there's no going back. So you should know it's a lot to ask you. So I can't see if this is where I'm meant to be. But I thought of you, if it's what you want me to do. On my mission to Mars, I'll show you all of the stars. On my mission to Mars, I'll show you all of the stars. Way up in space, nobody can get you down. It's a whole new world, except this time you wear the crown. Crown. On my mission to Mars, I'll show you all of the stars. On my mission to Mars, I'll show you all of the stars. Way up in space, nobody can get you down. It's a whole new world, except this time you wear the crown.
Deadly. That is awesome, man. That is
Ah,
great.
cheers, man.
Anything related to Mars, I can definitely relate to, brother. So I'm digging the new song. And when did you write that? Was that during the quarantine, or was that just before it? Or?
No, just before.
Okay.
I actually debuted at the Olympia last year.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I actually opened with it, which was unbelievably nerve-wracking.
Wow. Fair
Yeah,
play to you,
so-
man. How long was your
Yeah.
set in the Olympia?
6, 7 songs.
That's amazing. And that's a
Yeah.
couple of thousand. How many thousands of people is that? That's
3,000, I think.
lovely, man. That is lovely.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah.
That's
It was
great,
amazing.
man. Listen, thanks so much for taking your time,
Ah,
man.
cheers,
and having
man.
a chat and all this through this.
It's been an absolute
craziness.
pleasure.
That's awesome,
Absolute
man.
pleasure.
Is there anything you want to kind of close off? Any kind of statement or any?
Yeah,
you wanna plug, or-
I'm uploading videos every Wednesday and Saturday of covers and originals I'm calling the quarantine sessions as well. You can check it out on YouTube, Facebook, my website, ianbrennan.com. I'm going live every Sunday night as well. So tomorrow night around 6:30, 7, I'll throw a post up.
6:30, 7.
Yeah.
Please do, and yeah, don't. You can send a link in there into the chat
don't
if you
be
want as well.
I will. Don't be shy to request songs and say hello.
Awesome.
Show us what you have. Show us what beer you're having.
That's it, brother. Listen, absolute pleasure, man. Take care of yourself. Talk to you
Same
soon.
to you, buddy. See ya.
Bye. All right, guys, that was Ian Brennan. That was an absolutely awesome chat. It's always really nice to just get different perspectives of musicians in the music scene. So that was really nice. It was almost like a catch up. I don't think I've seen Ian in quite a long time. So absolutely amazing. He played 3 songs for us there: Getaway, Our River, which are both songs on his recent debut album, Start As You Mean to Go. And he just debuted he performed a more recent song called Mission to Mars. Thanks so much for the live music, and yeah, definitely check him out. He does live shows twice a week, so he's going to be doing one tomorrow. Ian Brennan, so it's IANN, 2 N's, and then 2 N's in Brennan as well. Definitely check it out. So thanks so much to all of you guys listening in and watching the show. This is our 4th episode of deMars Radio. So all of you 14 viewers, 15 viewers there, thanks so much. Give us a little comment, say hello, tell us if you're enjoying what you're seeing, hearing. It's always nice to have a little bit of communique. So don't be shy. So how's it, Claire Nolan? I can see she's watching. So how's it going, Claire? We got Amy Murphy, Anto Duffy, Paul Ames. Glad to see you watching. Troy O'Brien, what's the story? Good to see you. That you are watching the show. So yeah, we've got our final guest on the show, Warped Minds. So I've been looking forward to chatting to these guys for a long time. I've been aware that they've been recording an EP in Tsunami Studios with Adam Wilson, which is actually, I have to give that guy a plug because he runs a really fantastic rehearsal and recording studio. Which was originally, it still is in Jamestown, and I believe there's plans on moving it. We're not sure yet, but absolutely fantastic rehearsal space. I use it a lot with my projects, and just wanted to give that guy a shout. Tsunami Studios. So Warp Minds, 4-piece, amazing band, just an absolutely amazing band, fronted by Paul Downey. They actually won the Crystal Skull Sessions. And was it last year? And I think they took a break and they just came back and played maybe 1 or 2 gigs. And I think the second gig was the Crystal Skull Sessions, and they ended up winning the whole thing, which is absolutely amazing. So the band started in 2014. They started playing since school, and they write a lot of songs and they perform a lot of covers with their songs as well. They're highly influenced by Toto, Foo Fighters, Avenged Sevenfold, Queens of the Stone Age, all that good stuff. So yeah, they took a hiatus and came back in 2019, and they recently recorded their EP, which I have to get the name off them. I didn't actually catch the name of the EP off them, and they released a single last month, which I don't have in front of me. So we'll get to chat to them now. Hopefully they're still there. I know I'm a little bit delayed, so let's see if Paul's still here. And they're going to play a little bit of a tune for us as well, a couple of tunes for us today as well. So absolutely brilliant. Warp Minds, Shauna, that's it. You're right, it is Warp Minds. Keith, what's the story, man? Good to see you in the chat. What is the story, man? Can you hear me? I got you. I think I got your mic there. I think you need to get my audio in. Let's see, we've got all the guys here. I'll invite them all in. Let me know when you can hear me.
Can you hear me, Kozak?
I can hear you now, man.
Ah, sweet.
Dude, great to see you. Moved location. Is this the bedroom, is it?
This is the spare room.
This is the spare room. This is where I'll be staying.
yeah. This is when you're coming over. This is where you're gonna be.
Oh, dude, it looks great. It looks great. Man, you look a lot like Paul McCartney. Actually, I just got that now. Just with the new shtick and stuff. What do you think, guys? It is, of course. Yeah, of course, man. Well, I hope so.
Take it as a compliment anyway.
You have no choice now, yeah. We have to be nice now because there's people watching us, you know, so we have to behave ourselves. We can't give each other
told me
like
to
jabs.
be myself. You told me to be myself, Kozak. That's not being myself.
Remember when I said it to be yourself? I lied. Oh, guys. Well, it's great. It's great to see us here. Thanks so much for joining me. So we got Paul, we've got Connor, and we got Connor. We got the double Connors, and this is the whole
Barry as well, but there's not.
Oh, is there? You have one more? Actually, of course, yeah. 'Cause I 4-piece, and I was including myself in your band.
You're welcome.
There's an opening now.
As you do. So we have Connor Burkett. So you play your guitar or you bass?
I'm guitar.
Your guitar,
and
okay.
sing. Yeah.
Your guitar singing. And we got Connor Byrne on drums. And then, which is amazing, you have a drum kit right there in your house. I'm highly jealous of you, man.
Out in the shed, so I can't be playing in the house. It's far too loud.
So good. I know, I miss it. You know, obviously I'm a drummer myself, and I miss the drums, so I have to do this. But and of course, Paul. Sorry, I kind of segued. I just moved away into a tangent there. And Paul, lead singer and guitarist as well, guys. Thanks so much. How are you doing amongst all this madness?
Good.
Grand. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. I mean, like. The good thing that we kind of have going is that we've all kind of got some sort of way of writing and recording stuff at home. So we're kind of using this time to write some stuff. Mm-hmm. And like you should see, we've got like a shared kind of Google Drive thing going on. And it's like every week we've got like Barry saying, "Oh, listen to this version of this new draft of the song." And Connor's got another one coming up there and everything.
Speaking of Barry, I think he's about to hop in.
Oh, there he is.
But that's great. So you are using like, you know, so it is efficient for you. Like the communication and everything is still, you are keeping that open, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough not being able to actually play together is the only thing. Like it's great being on a Zoom call, but like you try to play a song and it's just the teeniest little bit out and it just it's enough to throw you way off.
Yeah, Paul was saying that you were quite optimistic, Paul, weren't you? You were like, "Oh, I'm going to test the lag and see if it works," and then you came back to me and he's like, "Yeah, nah."
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Because what we would love to do actually, because when we were asked to come on to this, we would love to like have me, because you know you saw us ourselves. We utilize all of our voices as much as we can. We try and get harmonies. We try and get all the rhythm and the lead stuff going at the same time. So like we were really hoping that we could get like the three of us singing and having like Byrne doing a couple of beats in the background as well. But as you know yourself, at this stage, it's just there's so much latency issues.
Yeah.
There's Barry's photo there. There he is. There now.
He is. Hiya, Barry.
God bless him. There he is.
So yeah, no, it's a bit disappointing that we can't like get the time and right on these things. But like, listen, that's just the way it goes, you know.
Yeah.
Like you said, it'll take a genius to figure out the latency issues. You know,
it's going to be quite a while. But you guys have kind of you have finished a lot of the creative process, right? Because you released your EP, or you've been recording your EP anyway. Which is how many songs is it? 3 or 4 songs for this one?
It's the 4 songs.
4 songs. And
we've one released now at the moment, so
I've seen that. Yeah, so I played that last. So what's the name of the EP actually? Have you? Pen to. Have you?
Pen to Paper is the single.
Pen to Paper is a single. Okay, so do you have an EP name or is it still kind of in the works?
Yeah. So the EP name is Stories We'll Never Tell, and that was we were debating about whether to call the EP that title, but we kind of like maybe a year ago I'd say we kind of had this thought process where I was like, let's just have a theme, write a couple songs based on that theme, so it's kind of the songs are kind of homogenous throughout the whole EP. You know, we weren't even thinking about EP at the time. We were just thinking about writing new songs. Do you know what I mean? So we're like, here's like a common theme. Let's just kind of touch on it as we're writing new songs. And to be honest, it was kind of just done in passing. and those songs were kind of either written around about that time or maybe just beforehand. And then as we were thinking about the title of this EP, you know, we had some good like there's a list of suggestions, to be honest, and there was much disagreement between the four of us. I mean, there's one thing about us is that we very rarely agree on things. So
that's a normal band, isn't it, really?
Oh man, we'd fight tooth and nail sometimes, but it's great. And then we eventually came to the realization, you know, stories we'll never tell. It makes sense. We've got like some callbacks in a couple of the songs, in particular Pen to Paper, where Barry sings, you know, stories we'll never write. That's one of the lyrics in it. So yeah, we thought that was the most fitting for it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Now, I was expecting to hear you sing on that one, Paul, but that was Barry's vocal on Pen to Paper, which I have to say, it sounds absolutely fantastic. I was just like, that sounds a little like, could it be Paul? Could it? No, is it you? And I had to get that clarification. But
it wasn't Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters. Anyway.
It wasn't. No, but I mean, it was pretty good. I have to say. No, I mean, it was really well done. Like, honestly, I really enjoyed listening to that, and to hear something first from you, Paul, especially because obviously, you know, we work together on other things as like that. It's awesome to see you releasing something that obviously, you know, you's all worked hard on, you know, and it's just awesome to have that sort of, at least that piece of finalization there, right? So you're expecting to finish up obviously the rest of the songs and stuff, but it's good to release stuff in singles, right?
Yeah, we well, go ahead, Connor. Sorry.
No, it's just we were debating it, but I think the initial plan wasn't to release it as singles, but then this whole thing happened, and we just wanted to get some music out there. Yeah. No, I think it's a good idea. It's a good idea to get it out. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so you were in Tsunami Studios. So I already mentioned that to the guys when I was introducing you. How long was the whole process actually of recording, getting the whole recording and pre-production down with
5 or
Adam?
6 full days, I think it was.
That's great. That's not too bad. Like, yeah.
No, I think so. I'm not sure.
You're asleep half the time, were you, Barry?
A whole lot of editing.
Yeah.
I mean, we recorded Pen to Paper like probably in November, like long before we even decided that we were going to make an EP. We were just going to record the single, and then we were going to release it. And then when we were in the studio, and Adam Wilson and Sean, the two of them are great. Like we have good crack with them, and great sort of chemistry with them as well. They're bouncing ideas to us, and they're letting us know what sounds good, what sounds. And we thought, you know, why don't we just, you know, invest the time and the money and then just get 4 songs done. At least even we could do it as singles, we could release it as an EP. Let's just give the project a go. So we went back, and I think it was late January, I'd say, or January-ish, and we finished the 4 songs, and they're still getting mixed, obviously, because with what's going on, everything's kind of on hold, and we were kind of hoping to release them all by July, but you know, who knows at this stage when it'll come out, but you know, it will be out when it's done.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, sometimes things like this, like the slowing down of things, is kind of good, even in the musical sort of or marketing, let's say, world, you know, with regard to this, you know, because at the end of the day, all that's done now. Now it's basically down to marketing, and obviously whatever fine tuning is required by the producer. But it's kind of a good thing, in my opinion, anyway, to kind of have it a little bit spread out and stuff. So it could benefit you in a way, you know. People will be kind of, after listening to this song, you know, I'm already kind of curious, you know, about I want to hear the rest now. You know, you hear one of like it's not a trilogy. What do you call 4 things together?
Quadrilogy.
Is it actually quadrilogy?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds nasty. Yeah, it sounds a bit off.
Like
but
a 4-legged creature.
Yeah. But you're kind of, I'm kind of like looking forward to hearing the rest, because obviously, like you're saying, there is a theme to it all, right? So it's all kind of packaged in. And what number is this song? The Pen to Paper, is that number 1 on the EP, or have you decided yet?
2 or 3, I think.
I think it's 3. So we've kind of laid it. I mean, the idea is we have it kind of laid out in a way that it doesn't really tell a story. Do you know what I mean? But it's kind of, we were debating what kind of order to put it in, and by how it stands now, it's the 3rd song in, because it's almost like build up, and you got bang with Pen to Paper, because it's probably the hardest rocking song we have, lads. And on that EP.
We're aware, Paul.
Yeah, and then we kind of finish off on a nice kind of experimental tune as well. I think one of the things I'm really excited about as well is that you said so yourself. Barry sings lead in Pen to Paper, and we have Connor singing lead in Moon, which he's going to play a bit later on as well. And like, you kind of get the fact that we're trying to just have everyone's kind of stamp on
Variety,
everything.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. And is Bern, are you gonna sing as well for a song?
Not on this album. Maybe the next one.
We'll give you, they should give you at least 2 then. If you're not singing for this one, they give you 2 songs for the next
We'll
album.
make
Bingo
sure.
clause, yeah.
Yeah,
What's-
that's not. I don't know if that's a compliment.
Oh, no. Well, what's like? Have you guys played these songs live yet? You have,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You've
Yeah,
played
yeah.
all of these
Yeah.
already. Okay,
I think
cool, cool.
we played them at the Crystal Skulls that time.
Okay, great.
3 of them anyway.
Oh yeah, because you guys didn't actually play any covers, did you, at the Crystal Skull, the last one, or did?
Don't think so.
Not the last one.
That's
no.
what I remember, because I remember you did before, prior to that, and then I think this time you came in and you're like, no, we're not doing any more cover. We're not doing covers for this. We're doing strictly originals, which is great.
We disappointed you a little bit there, Kozak, because I know you were clamoring for some Toto, like.
You know, that's how we bonded, though. That's how I sort of we chatted about that. That was our first conversation. I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
and
It's our
it was
first
obvious that you were a
conversation
fan because
Yeah.
you could hear afterwards. You said, "Oh, you should play Georgie Porgy and stuff."
yeah.
That's a totally different song.
It is. It's like nobody
Shows that you're a fan.
Not many know that one. You know, it's either like
I don't even know
Africa,
that one.
Rosanna, and Hold the Line, right, and then all the rest. But I love Toto. No, I delved into all the weird albums. But so you guys took that was back in, what would that have been? 2017, 2016? Was it been older? How long were you guys on hiatus actually?
Doesn't feel like it. It feels like a
I don't know. We're on and off, and I think we took a long break before last summer, and we all we knew that we could do something, and we kind of thought that would be a bit of a shame to not do anything. And
Yeah.
we all like playing together, and we've been playing together for years, so kind of just got back together, and then we had a bit more drive, and that led to the EP, which is kind of just an amalgamation of all the songs we've come up with over the years. Obviously with the single from Berry, so no, it's been good. I don't know how long the hiatus was, but it was a couple of months anyway.
I think during it as well, you kind of go, oh, I'm really missing this. Like when you're not playing with your mates or just having the crack, like playing music at all. Well, you'd be playing at home to yourself or whatever, but when you're playing with your mates, like it's just totally different. And when you're not doing that, even starting to feel it now, being in this, like it gets at you. It's such a release to go to practice and play, and then come home, and I'm always in such a better mood coming home from it. So,
Except for when we're arguing and disagreeing about shit.
So once a year, I like practice.
I guess it's like a band can be like a dysfunctional family, especially if you're playing with longtime friends, and yous are all kind of like, you definitely seem like yous are longtime friends. You know what I mean? So naturally, friends would argue, and it's more natural for friends to argue. It would be weird if friends didn't argue, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird give and take. Like, I've known, I don't know where he is, and I've known Connor Burkett there for since I was like 4 years old, and then Connor have known each other since they were like 6. Do you know what I mean? And then and Barry, we've known Barry since we were all teenagers, because we all went to the same schools. And it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing, because on the one side you're like, you want to be brutally honest, but then you also want to say, all right, listen, I don't mean this in a personal bad way, but maybe this could be better here, or actually, do you know what, maybe that doesn't work. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of, I think it's taken a long time for us to get to the point now where we can be brutally honest and just say, here, listen, maybe let's not do this, maybe let's do this, maybe let's do that. Do you know what I mean? And it can have incredible highs, and it can have some deep lows. Do you know what I mean? Like I think ultimately we did take a good 2-year break, I'd say, at one stage, because we were realizing that we weren't enjoying it as much anymore, and it was kind of affecting us being friends. And now we're just kind of like, listen, let's just have the crack. Do you know what I mean? And make good stuff while we can, but also like enjoy it.
I mean, you came back with a bang. I mean, that was what you came back together, like, and did the Crystal Skull sessions, won the feckin' thing, and then you're in the studio like the next day almost. It was almost like, it was like almost pre-planned. You know what I mean?
That was just such a help. Like the money that we won from the Crystal Skulls, we knew straight away. We need to go record.
You need to
something.
use that for that.
It's what we've just been missing this whole time, is just having something solid, concrete, that you can send out to people saying, like, look, this is our stuff, can we come play? Just a promotional tool even. So
amazing.
Well, I think we were a bit driven when we came back as well. because like before we ended it, we were kind of just gigging, playing a few songs, practicing. We weren't really recording or promoting ourselves, so we kind of just died off. And then when we came back, we were a lot more driven to go and record things, to get our music out. And we finally have a song out, and it's amazing. Never thought we'd get here, to be honest. So like, yeah, I think we were just a lot more driven when we came back. So that's why we got that money.
I think a few things clicked with us. Like, we hadn't done much recording beforehand, so it was kind of, we won the money and then we put our own money as well, and kind of that clicked for us because we kind of get used to the process. Like it's expensive, you know, you have to put money towards if you want something that's good quality, you know, and you want guys that are, you know, sound to work with, like Adam, and those things really add to the final result. Like the song, I think it came out really well. We went in really relaxed, so I think it really helps.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, no, there's a lot of like ingredients to kind of get it right. So I mean, you had them all, I suppose, it seems, and at the right time. It is timing, and the breaks are good. You know, they can be quite good. You know, for whatever reason. You know, if you take a break from your instrument, which I don't know if Paul has ever had that experience, because you seem to be such a hard working musician, man. But I'm the guy.
We all are, in
fairness.
Like,
I don't know the other guys.
The only difference is I just do it with you. Do you know what I mean? Like, these lads have been doing other stuff on their own as well. So
it's amazing. Yeah. So I mean, I'm familiar with the breaks, you know, for me as a drummer, and sometimes I'd come back and sort of go, oh wow, you know, I'm seeing this a little bit differently, you know, so it's a little bit easier. Not to say I get much better or anything like that, but perspective has changed, right? So it can be easier to let in new information in with that regard.
Yeah, completely.
I could chat to you for ages, guys, and so do you just want to does somebody want to perform a song? You just have a couple of songs prepared, do you? Or I hear two of you are playing.
Three, maybe.
Yeah, we've
great.
We do a bit of a sandwich. Will I go first and you go next, then Connor, and then I'll finish it off.
Gladly be in a Paul sandwich.
Do you want to do? It's up to you if you want to do 3 in a row, and then we can have a chat afterwards. Do you just want to do it that way?
Whatever suits you, man.
I'm easy. I'm going with the flow.
It's your show, man. It's your show.
I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, there would be no show. So I like to take a little.
We just.
It wouldn't. Like what? Who's going to just watch me talking? You know what I mean? I run out of material so quickly. But it's up to you if you just want to do. Yeah, if you want to do that, like Paul goes first,
right,
then Connor.
I'll kick off.
Yeah.
I'll get a. So, I mean, to everyone listening, I suppose, if you haven't heard us before, you know that we're kind of a bit more heavier rock. We don't really do acoustic stuff too much. And usually, regardless, when we do acoustic stuff, all 4 of us are together. So these songs have actually been a little bit altered just to give this experience that we're given now anyway. So I'm gonna play. Oh, geez, I'm big. That's mad.
You can see everything live. That's great. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, on the Zoom.
So this song. This is one of the songs on the EP. It's called Low Hanging Tree, and this is one of the kind of experimental. It's what Adam Wilson has done. He's added loads of effects, and it sounds great. But this is just raw acoustic, and here's what it goes like. That low-hanging tree, you're nearly home, it tells me, on the corner of Madison Street. That low-hanging tree, every morning and evening you'd greet me when I lived on Madison Street. I've seen it all the way from where Gates meets Broadway, and this is what it would say. That low-hanging tree, you're nearly home, it tells me, on the corner of Madison Street. That low-hanging tree, every morning and evening you'd greet me when I lived on Madison
Awesome. Absolutely awesome, man.
Thank you. It's weird playing and not having some sort of like.
I know.
It's just like.
There you go, guys.
Thank
You have loads of people here, and we're just like so rude, not clapping. So tell our viewers as well, Paul. What's the name of that song?
So that song is called Low Hanging Tree.
Low Hanging Tree, okay.
Yeah, so we kind of close out the EP on that song, and like I said, Adam, he's done really, really well with the mixes that we've gotten so far. He's got like rain and all this mad sort of ambient sounds coming through it, and like I said, these songs have been pretty altered. There's actually kind of an experimental kind of outro thing that we put at the end of it that we're really excited to show it because it's just. I don't know. I love what we've done with it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what people's reactions to it are. How it kind of closes out the whole EP. Do you know what I mean?
Awesome.
Energetic and
that's
spacey.
Great.
Yeah, it's spacey is exactly the word for it. It's energetic and spacey, and you get all these weird kind of panning and all going on.
That sounds like my kind of song. That's awesome. Okay, great. So Connor,
now I'm ginormous.
You're ginormous. What song are you gonna play for people?
So I'm gonna sing a song called Moon.
Moon.
I don't know. We've had it for quite a while, I suppose, but
deadly. And that's on the EP as well, is it?
Yeah.
Awesome. We're getting the full EP gig today, which is great. Awesome, guys. Take it away, man.
I see you coming at me. I see it all break down. Hits me like a motherfucker. Feel it in the ground. Rises through my soul. Grips me like a black hole. Spinning, that's all I know. Take me, you have my soul. I'm on your moon. I'm on your moon, but I fall around you, 'cause I'm on your moon. This force won't pull me down. It keeps me high above. Upon your pearly crown, I just can't get enough. Perpetual, sexual, I need you like a tattoo. Stained but maintained, I'll always want you, you're my muse. I'm
Awesome, man. That's great. All right, you can all clap. So it's not just me clapping. That actually makes more sense. I'll make sure to keep that in mind. That's awesome, man. That's great. So that's your moon, right?
Just moon.
Just moon.
Shows your moon there, Connor.
Okay, awesome. And that's one other track on the EP. So what I have two questions I wanted to ask you. I'll ask you this one first of all. It was because obviously you're playing these acoustically, so we kind of touched on this when we were doing the sound check. How's that process work for you? Did you just naturally just whip out the acoustic and start playing it in a different way, or did you just were you messing around with it, or did you already kind of know how to sort of strip it back, I suppose?
Well,
how does that work?
That song personally, like, that's quite a rhythmical song electrically. Like, everything's quite tight with the drums. Like, there's lots of little fiddly kind of bits. Whereas I felt if I don't have that, I've just got to make it kind of open and spacey. I suppose more suited to the acoustic. So yeah, I mean, I kind of just picked up the acoustic and that's what came out. Like the riff and all, like the little picky part, that's way different. Like same notes, but very, very different. So
and what about you, Paul? How's that sort of process? Because I guess like it's kind of like going backwards again, isn't it? Because when you write songs, I'm sure you write them down very simplistically, and then you're recording them, and now you realize you have to sort of play them more simpler now because of the circumstance, right? So
I mean, like when it comes to our music, simplicity is nowhere to be found. Really, we love to add, and then it's kind of like, oh, maybe we should strip it back. I mean, when it comes to playing it sort of acoustically, like the song I play, Low Hanging Tree, that's pretty much an acoustic-y kind of sounding song anyway. But like I said, we've done a few acoustic gigs before, and it is ultimately when the four of us are together, you can get that kind of volume sort of thing where you can have sort of lead parts that don't sound too empty, because you have the rhythm, you have the bass, and you have the cajon and everything filling it up. But it is, I mean, you know yourself, there is a big difference between electric and there's no fullness. You know, you kind of have to really hope that the acoustics in the room are good to make it whole and everything like that, and make it nice and full, which thankfully we did. I mean, we played in the Nirano sessions there in the Landmark. Shout out to Nirano. They're actually it's a great little thing. And we've done that twice now, and both times we did it, you know, we mainly did it acoustically, and it felt great. You know what I mean? So I'm confident that what I like about us is that we are more comfortable when we're doing full electric, bam, in your face. But you know, sometimes you need to just kind of step back, simplify it a little bit, but not too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose for radio shows anyway, like even if it's not in this quarantine vibe, they would usually want, you know, a band to sort of strip down. Now, of course, you can play it together though. Like, you know, you'd have Burn on cajon, and you'd have acoustic guitars and stuff like that. And Barry, are you playing a song for us today, or are you?
I am not. I wasn't prepared for this. So
were you just thrown in here? Were you just like last minute?
Maybe.
He has a trombone solo.
You do trombone, do you?
Yeah, Barry's the most diverse out of us all. Like Barry knows like 5 instruments, like, really? And he probably more. You know.
Yeah, knowing instruments is one thing, being good at an instrument's another.
And what instruments did you add into the recording, actually, Barry? What was?
Well, unfortunately, there was no trombone solo, so.
Maybe for the album.
On the Low Hanging Tree song, Paul just played there. I played a bit of piano. I tried piano on a song like previously on one of Connor's songs, and we tried recording that, and so that gave me a good experience going into it. But yeah, that's the most nerve-wracking part of the EP for myself, actually, just the piano playing. Cause
the piano part. And what were you brought up on the piano, or was this something you just picked up along the way?
Well, you'd be happy to know it's when we started playing Toto songs.
Oh, of course, yeah. Somebody had to jump on keys. And it was you, Barry, by default, right?
I was more than happy to take up that. Yeah, I think that was the reason. I think we were looking to play Hold the Line. Yeah. And I had this crappy little digital keyboard.
Smiths or something.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. I bought off my auntie, I think, like 50 quid or something like that. But yeah, I started playing on that, and I just went from there.
I mean, you seem to play a lot of Toto then. I mean, how's that, Bern, how's that for you, like on the drums? Because that's That's a tough hi-hat going on there.
It's his idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, probably the biggest Toto fan in the band, but there's good reason for that. And I think we all kind of respect them. They're like great musicians, worked on so many albums. But when it comes to Jeff Porcaro and stuff, I put my own twist on it. Hold the Line I just copy exactly what's there. But Africa is slightly different. Kind of put
it's a tricky one.
Spin on it.
It's a tricky
get
one.
around to Rosanna as well.
Yeah, that's a hard
we haven't
one as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't gone near enough Rosanna.
Name.
Amazing.
So we'll have to do it.
Are you like what so how many original songs do you have in your live set right now? Like what's kind of your, if you could gig?
They're mostly originals, I think, at this point.
Brilliant.
Like I think we're able to kind of, I think we have about 8 or 9 originals. I'd say that's fully done. And then like I said, we have a couple that are in the pipe that are, parts of it are written. We've got a good chunk of it done, but it's not gig ready yet. You know what I mean? So there's a good, I'd say, at least 7 or 8 that we have that we play.
Great.
Fully, yeah.
And which kind of covers would you stick to the same covers or would you even put covers back into your set if you were asked to do, let's say, an hour set or something? And which ones would they be? Would they be ones you've already done?
We'd probably throw 1 or 2 in. We've done Tin Lizzy in the past. Kind of easy enough ones, but people that like songs that people enjoy.
Yeah.
That's why Rosanna, we a lot of effort just for a gig.
Just for one song, yeah.
But yeah, we always try, if we're playing about 6 originals, we try to throw in the cover too.
Great.
Because we started doing, like, we kind of got a little, what do you call, not a placement, but we got a gig up in Brady's, or McMahon, sorry, in Maynooth.
Okay.
Where we just, it's totally, well.
Like a residency, is it?
Yeah, it's not like totally covers. Like, we had a good few gigs coming up this summer, so they're probably gone. But, but that's been good experience as well, because you kind of get to see what people want to hear, what they don't groove to, whatever, what gets people up, what doesn't. So it's really good experience seeing that and just doing that as well. We've so many songs that we've learned that you can kind of just pick and choose then to throw in, take out.
That gave us a chance to play all types of songs. Like we were playing Scissor Sisters.
Great. That's awesome. I think they're fantastic.
I mean, the fun thing about that, I think I actually think that's probably one of the most beneficial things that we've been able to do in the past little while, because the manager of McMahon's they've actually been really free, like giving us the freedom. They're basically like, here, listen, there's 2 hours set, play what you like. Do you know what I mean? And it was because I understand with a lot of pubs, it would be like, no, play something that'll get people dancing, or play something that people know. Do you know what I mean? I've heard a funny thing where it's like the further away from Dublin City you go, the less people want to hear originals. Do you know what I mean? Now that's probably not true, but when I was thinking like, okay, McMahon's is in Maynooth, they probably want a good bit of covers, but they were really happy to give us the freedom. And we're happy to do them because, it's fun. We're able to do maybe, the first hour we do a couple of covers and everything like that are more slower and everything like that. And then we get people dancing, we get people energetic. We're playing Hold the Line in Africa, and then we pop in and out of the original in between. And if people like it, then, they stay for that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's great because I was talking to Ian Brennan about this, and it's great bringing in the covers sets and cover like paid gigs for many reasons, of course. But one amazing situation is that you can upsell straight up there on the night your original stuff, right, from your covers. So it's amazing because not many kind of jobs have that opportunity where you can just upsell your original stuff, which can be hard to sell, right? Because there's so many bands and in Dublin and all that kind of stuff. A lot of stuff gets missed out on and whatnot. So when was your last gig then? In that case, when did you play last this year?
Narano, was it?
What month is it?
Oh yeah, it was. I think it was an acoustic session in Narano.
So you didn't even have the full bands. When would have been the last electric?
Probably only a week before that, I think.
Yeah, I think it was the Brady's gig.
Oh no! Sorry, was it not the Workman's? We played the charity gig.
Oh yeah.
Oh
exactly
yeah.
Yeah. So
that was
we
very
played Yeah, we
Very
played
short.
a charity show. Yeah, it was short. We kind of opened for a charity gig. It was a Fluttertone, I think they were organizing it, and it was. I mean, it was a great. It was like Save the Planet or no, Friends of the Earth. Save the Planet. Friends of the Earth. So it was a cool charity thing. But I think that was like the proper last electric one that we got to do.
Yeah, I think it was.
Wow.
Which that was back in like February, I think, like early February.
It was not March. I think it was like a week before everything was quarantined. No, the lockdown.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had that gig. We had a gig organized in the international bar downstairs. And we decided not to do that because of everything that was going on. But it wasn't too long after that when everything was shut down.
Did you just have to cancel did you cancel all your gigs now already, or is there anything that's sort of
kind of
not sure
to hear
about
from places if they want us really? Like we have one coming up in the 16th of May that's in McMahon's. But I don't know yet whether that's going to go ahead or not, depending on whether the lockdown comes off or the pub's actually open.
A lot of speculation, I guess.
Yeah, it's saying like it's going to be next year or something when the pub's open.
Yeah, well, I mean, the festivals for sure. Yeah, festivals for sure. And they could.
Because we had something in the water as well. That got cancelled as well. So that was a pretty disappointing. And I think it was annoying because this was a good opportunity because we had our EP release kind of set to release in July. But I mean, like I said, with the mixing and everything kind of getting delayed, it's probably not going to happen by then. And also we had a plan to Emma Wallace Music. She wanted us to support her up in Belfast on July 3rd or 4th, whichever day wasn't something in the water. I think it's the 3rd. And she had to text me and say, listen, it can't go ahead, you know what I mean? So and that was pretty disappointing because we really were looking forward to go to Belfast and play a gig, you know.
First international gig, you know.
Yeah, you could do so I guess now it's sort of like doing these kind of interviews maybe, and what kind of things, what do you think you can do, like let's say like on a positive side during these times that's related to music? Like Paul, you're saying you're still working, so it's like a little bit hard for you to find the time, right, to create a little bit, but do you have like individually something that's sort of keeping you creatively grounded?
I think we're creating new songs, and I know myself and Connor have already come up with a few demos that I've been sending on to the lads. So like Connor's been adding drum tracks and I've been throwing a bass track onto one of Connor's songs. So there's that. I gave Paul my mic back there as well. So we're expecting
Paul, you gave Paul your mic back, did you? It's my mic.
That's why he sounds so good, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so we're expecting a few songs from Paul. So there's that as well. We're kind of keeping our creative minds wherever.
I mean, we do want to at some stage, like when we kind of get things sorted a little bit, like if we can figure out latency issues, we can hopefully do a few like Instagram live things, you know. Like on my personal Instagram there a couple of weeks ago, I tried to see what it was like to put up a few songs, and it was just a few cover kind of things, and I was happy to do it, and I didn't feel uncomfortable doing it, you know. It's kind of weird just playing to yourself and then putting it up on Instagram, but I think it could be something that we can do going forward, because like ultimately you can't stop the creativity, and if we want to, you know, as you know yourself, because like if you're an original band, you don't want to be forgotten, do you know what I mean? You want to keep putting yourself out there,
especially the momentum,
reminding people. Absolutely. And to be honest, we're actually delighted because our song Pen to Paper has been put into a couple of playlists, and we're seeing people are still listening to it, because you know you always have that front heavy load of everybody listening to it as soon as it comes out, but we've been thankful enough that people have still been listening to it since the release, you know what I mean? So it's good that we're kind of staying as relevant as possible.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you guys are going to play one more song, and then I'm going to play that song as well as well at the end once again. I wanted to ask, because I guess I could chat to you for, it's funny, like with all these guests, I could actually just get lost in conversation. I hope you feel the same. I don't know if I'm not boring you or anything with the questions. But
not yet, anyway.
Not yet. Okay, there is obviously like it's like, oh, that's too long now. But, yeah. So what else was I gonna ask? Well, so who's gonna play the next song? Is it back to you, Paul? Is it?
Well, it was back to me. Do you know what I was going to do? Because I know Barry sings Pen to Paper. I was going to do an acoustic version of Pen to Paper, but since you said you're actually going to play Pen to Paper, I might play a different one, especially because it is Barry that sings lead on that one. I mean, I don't know, because like would it not be too redundant for me to play a version of it and then we play it anyway?
Play it again. Well, it's nice to hear both. I mean, HAYLEY, the first guest, played one of her version, and we played the Spotify. So It's
all right. Well,
totally
listen,
up to you.
I'll do it anyway. And you know, with Barry's permission, I was allowed to sing this one for you.
Did he say yeah? I don't think Barry said yes though.
I haven't said anything.
No,
he didn't say anything.
We kept Barry in the dark with this anyway.
That's why he wasn't. He was invited last. You were hoping he wouldn't come in, right?
Yeah. We got all the important information out before he joined.
Just before Paul starts there, just wanted to let you guys listening in that you can send in any questions you have for any of the guys from Warped Minds, and I'm just going to leave you with Paul now, who's going to play Pen to Paper, which is actually the single that they released from their EP, and I'm going to play that as well on at the end of the show as well. So I'm going to spotlight you, Paul. There you go, brother.
There I am, spotlight. So yeah, and again, it's very, very altered, but I'll give it a go anyway. Flashing lights go by my eyes. Down the road, no end in sight. Sitting maybe too relaxed. Music's gone, and now we're back. I don't wanna get out, comfortable inside. Just a few more miles. Standing in the shadow of a tough hill to climb. Get these thoughts out from my head, turning molehills into mountains. Now we'll exercise my right. Pen to paper with these stories I'll never write. Life is on a constant loop. Things repeat, at least to me. Flashing lights go by my eyes. Down the road, no end in sight. Standing in the shadow of a tough hill to climb. Get these thoughts out from my head, turning molehills into mountains. And I will exercise my right. Pen to paper with these stories I'll never write. Walk by yourself, stay with myself, send me to hell with stories I won't tell. Walk by yourself, stay with myself, send me to hell with stories I won't tell. Walk by yourself, stay with myself, send me to hell with stories I won't tell. Get these thoughts out from my head, turning molehills into mountains. Oh.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. Barry, what did you think of that there now? Paul singing your song.
Much better.
Much better.
Like that all the
time.
That's great. And who came up with that riff actually? Because that's a really catchy riff.
That's all Barry.
That was himself.
Barry comes up with the weirdest fucking riffs.
No way.
Don't be slagging my riffs.
I'm not slagging them. I'm saying they're fucking unreal.
Yeah,
I
they're really,
suppose. Like,
really unique. Yeah, it's awesome.
Nice. Really in time, Connor.
Shut your mouth. How dare you?
Oh, lovely. I love how we're bringing out the band emotion now. That's exactly what I was waiting for,
Here's
you
the
know.
old dirty laundry now coming out.
Amazing. So we actually have a question from Shauna, who seems to be a huge
Hi,
fan.
Shauna.
There you go. She's
God,
watching you. And it's awesome because we never get questions. I think people are a little bit like, people like to watch, but they don't like to comment too much. But that's great because we're getting some comments in when you guys hopped on, which is lovely. But she's actually wondering what is, and it's actually a good question. I would have asked it myself had I been intelligent enough to think of it. Actually, I had it written down there, you know.
Well, we get Sean on.
Get Sean on instead of me.
Plagiarized this.
So what's your favorite song to perform? Each of you individually, cover or original?
Ooh, Jesus.
And that's probably a hard one.
Myself, pen to paper, just
Pen to
something I'm
paper,
proud of.
cool.
Came out well, so.
Of course, it's pen to pen.
That really sweet, weird riff I wrote, I'm really proud of that.
There you get all those compliments, yeah. So now you definitely want to play it.
No, yeah, that would be the one I like.
Cool.
They always finish off the set as well with it.
Yeah. So it's the closing song.
Yeah, it's kind of like a massive, I don't want to say relief, but it's like, you know, it's like loads of energy at the end of the show, you know, so it feels like a big blowout.
I can feel that. You're saying
it probably is one of the best ones.
Paul was saying it's the most energetic or the heaviest one you have, right? Pen to paper, right? And what about yourself, Paul? What would be your sort of fave cover?
In terms of our originals, I would echo Barry. I'd say that's probably one of the funnest ones to play, just because it's one of the longest ones that we've had, so we're really, really tight on it, and we really just let loose. But I mean, we've in terms of a cover, a couple times we've played All My Life by the Foo Fighters, and that like every time I just nearly pass out, like I very nearly pass out, and I love it because it's like, and everybody, I remember we played it in what was it called, the Wild Fox?
Wiley Fox.
Soundhouse, yeah.
Soundhouse, that's what it was, sorry. We played it there a couple months ago, and you know, the crowd were just banging, do you know what I mean? It was great because it was just, you know, the song anyway. If anyone knows All My Life, exactly, like it's like proper, like everyone's going mad because everyone knows the song. It's fantastic.
And what about you, Bern? What would be your favorite?
The originals as well. Since, you know, I'm a huge fan of just the straight rock and roll, and I think there's kind of there's a bit like the straight ahead drum beats I think are the most effective, and in that song I think the simplest stuff works the best. So it kind of gives you that freedom then when you're playing it live to throw in other bits, and no, it's the most fun song to play anyway, I think.
Deadly
for me. And then the covers, I do like the harder stuff to play because once you get it, there's a bit of satisfaction in that. Like we played Life in the Fast Lane by the Eagles and stuff. Obviously that was hard on guitar, but the timing of the whole thing I think worked out really well. I think it's another really good cover that we do.
Deadly. Burkett, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd be along the same lines. Like pen to paper, definitely the most fun to play. I don't know, with singing, it feels like kind of a different kind of release when you're just absolutely belting something out. Like you get that warm fuzzy feeling inside and you're going for it. So probably Moon or one of our other originals that I'd be singing.
You like playing Fall On because you take lead in the chorus or Fall On, and you really belt that one out.
Or the last chorus and all the same. I get great satisfaction out of that.
Yeah, all the same's a fun one.
A cover, I actually really like playing. We play a Gorillaz song that the name is escaping me. What is
Feel
it?
Good.
Feel Good. Yeah. I really, really like that one. Yeah.
Deadly.
Just fucking great.
And it's a great tune. It's actually a really good tune. And so you guys who writes the lyrics? Are you all taking control of the lyrics? Whoever sings it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Writes the lyrics, right?
It's kind of balanced as well. It usually is like whoever kind of, like the way we work it, we kind of bring a song to the table and then everyone kind of has at it. And just up until now, it really has been, you know, okay, well, listen, I actually wrote this cool tune, this with a cool hook, and I'll do the lyrics myself. Do you know what I mean? There's never been any hesitation to writing lyrics. I know Barry and I kind of workshopped the lyrics for Pen to Paper at one stage, but it was pretty much all Barry who wrote the lyrics for that. And I know that you're working on a few lyrics for a few other songs as well. So it's mainly whoever brings the song to the table, they usually kind of have lyrics for it. You know what I mean?
It's great. I mean, you seem like a really diplomatic band, and everybody seems to contribute.
This is a dictatorship, and they listen to what I say. And yeah, you will write the lyrics, Barry.
So it's like real democracy then. It's like the illusion of democracy, right? I guess we won't get into that though. That's awesome. Well, gee, honestly, so I don't want to take up too much of your time.
No one else to be doing.
Nothing else to be doing, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I had a party to go to, but I can't anymore.
Oh god.
No, you didn't.
What's
Are you pointing at your bed, Bob?
I haven't had a drink in like 5 weeks or 6 weeks, which is
Holy
crazy.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh my
But I
God.
kind of feel like when I'm doing these kind of chats, like it just kind of brings me back to being in a pub or something or whatever, and
social
just
kind of setting,
having a
isn't it?
pint. Yeah. Because it's not like
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need it. You know, sometimes I used to think
It's
I
a
needed
totally
one.
social thing.
Yeah, I thought I needed one to do stuff like that, or play gigs and stuff in the past when I was younger and reckless, you know. But
Well, that's it.
yeah.
Touching on that though, because I know you spoke to me about, you know, you used to take a drink to kind of take the edge off, like when you were nervous, and that's pretty interesting. But now this is me turning into the host. But how have you feel like? Do you still do that? Because I was the same. I thought I'd need another drink or two before going on stage, and now I'm like, do you know what? I'll have a drink afterwards. I'll earn that drink. I mean, how about you? What do you feel?
Well, I guess I changed. I don't know if it's like to do with age or maturity or priorities or respect. You know, it's all those things maybe. You know, respect towards the music and the performance definitely increased. There was a lot of factors, man, that really changed it. And I think a lot of them was really like through the Bowie band that sort of, when we started doing the Bowie Fest, you know, a lot of people were like really into our songs and we didn't really realize how much, you know, we were affecting people. So for me as the drummer, you know, to keep everything in time and in check, I realized that alcohol didn't really suit me as a drummer. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to keep that time as well. I know for some people, that, you know, especially like rock stars or whatever, or musicians, it does happen. Like I'm not actually against it at all. They just like to drink and go reckless, and they perform absolutely amazing, or they take LSD, you know, before the show, and then they're absolutely phenomenal. So there's a big difference between LSD and alcohol, then, of course. So I mean, LSD is
gonna play to all the flying dinosaurs in the back of the.
I was gonna say like
venue.
LSD might make you sound much better, you know.
Only to yourself though.
But I guess it's like it's looking at the underlying issue. You know, what is it? Is it just like a self-induced sort of habit?
The funny
you know?
the funny thing is, I've like going back to like you're saying doing this, it kind of makes you remind you that you're in a kind of a pub. Like when we had our first kind of Zoom chat since this lockdown, I was having a drink of whiskey and everything. And I was like, Joe, it's actually not the same. Like it really isn't. So like since then, I've just been drinking tea. Do you know what I mean? Because it's something. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I've been the same.
No, it isn't.
Yeah. How are you guys? 'Cause I have friends that are like, you know, they're drinking a bit more and they're smoking it, which isn't bad. I'm not, honestly, each to their own. Absolutely, you know what I mean. We've all been through it, but have you guys felt like you have gone one way a little bit more? Like, you know, have you pulled back, or have you increased on habits? Like how?
Gary's drunk right now.
Since we're on this. That's why he's not singing, right? Because he's gonna slur his words.
Words, yeah. Actually on LSD, Paul. I'm
Yeah.
Like I tend to have a bottle every now and again, but when we came on these Zoom calls, like we had quizzes the other day with a group of mates and having a few things then there, but not more than the usual, to be honest with you. I'd probably be drinking more, like if I was back in work, because then I'd be going to the pub after work or meeting with the lads.
Yeah, there's more of an excuse with it,
Where
right?
if I'm at home, it's just there's the kettle, there's milk, and have a cup of tea.
There's the kettle, there's milk, there's the bottle of vodka. Like,
I'll have a few tonight though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The weekend, you
having
indulge in the
celebrate,
weekend a little bit.
Yeah, I guess it keeps you grounded and sane into like what the routine was prior, right? Going out on the weekend with people. So I guess that's important, you know. And but I'm so happy you came on for like the first Saturday show, because I know is anybody else working here, or is it just Paul?
I think we're all working.
These are all working.
I'm only working like 2 days a week. the lads are working from home, so.
Flip's sake. What do you do then?
Me?
Yeah.
I do like diesel analysis and effluent analysis down in East Wall.
East
Wall.
East Wall. Between East
Compass
and
said to
West.
East.
It's right in the middle. Yeah, so we do like a lot of analysis for like.
So you have
we
to
have
get
ones coming for
Yeah.
ambulances and
Oh,
Garda
really?
cars and things like that. So for maintenance,
Siphons fuel is basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you have to leave the house, I guess, for that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you have to.
Well, we operate just one person in the lab at a time.
Right.
That's why. So I'm doing 2 days.
Yeah,
The other lads are doing 2 days, 1 day, whatever. So.
Great. And
Yeah,
Barry, what
keep
do
me busy, like.
what do you get up to, Barry?
Well, myself and Connor work in IT, so we can do pretty
Oh,
much
brilliant. Oh, he's
from
work
home.
from home.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Do the exact same job from home.
And he's putting in the same hours, or is it a little bit less since he's
Yeah,
early?
the exact same hours, yeah.
You just have to
Not
clock
for
in.
myself, any. Yeah.
Jesus. But you don't have to get up as early to go into the office, right?
Oh, that's I'm getting an extra like 2 hours out of my day.
Yeah. Not, you don't have to get ready or anything, obviously. So you're
No, getting up at 5 to 9.
No.
yeah, that's
Barry's
not too bad.
just in the nip all the time.
yeah. He's actually not wearing pants.
I'm not going to stand up.
Oh, brilliant.
I actually put slacks on for this interview. Anybody wants to see?
No way. Oh my God.
Nobody does.
Don't open your belt buckle.
I'm wearing shorts, genuinely. Like, you gotta be comfortable now in these. You don't know how long you'll be sitting here for. Like,
Yeah.
I'm wearing the same tracksuit now for the last 6 weeks. Like.
I'm not surprised by that, Barry.
There's nothing new there, right?
Oh, that's great. Oh, this is good crack. It's actually nice because like I wasn't thinking of doing the Saturdays for a while, but I was like, okay, let's just do it, because it's good, it's healthy,
Yeah,
I'm glad you did it. In fairness, like, because even like what I was saying before in the sound check, like people are clamoring for kind of content at this stage, and there's like, even on a good day when you're busy anyway, you still scroll through Netflix 17 times and still don't know what you're watching. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, you're honestly, I know it's still small, you've only started it, but it's a good time to launch something like this, and especially because for 2 reasons: you're giving people things to listen to, where if they're cleaning around the house something, they've got it in their headphones, but also it's putting the musicians out there who won't be getting out there anymore. Do you know what I mean? So we have a lot to thank you for. Yeah, we're boosting our egos. We have a lot to thank. We have a lot to thank you for as well, for having us on. Your
Awesome,
first Saturday show. We're delighted to be here, and we'll obviously would love to come back as well, because I'm having great fun. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. No, it goes the same for you guys. No, this is actually a lot of fun. It genuinely feels great, to do this, and it's multi-purpose, right? Isn't it? This whole situation is multi-purpose, which is great. Everybody's kind of getting something in it. Not that it's required, but even if it's just like a sense of community or communication is so important, right? Yeah,
definitely.
And a bit of fun, of course, as well. What's so I'm gonna let people go with your song, but I guess I guess I'm just kind of thinking if there's anything else. Would you like to close off with anything, like, as in, like, to let the viewers know sort of a little bit about Warped Minds and
I
just
think
kind of plug?
we'll say a little prayer, will we? Good mass.
We're gonna. One of our favorite covers to do is Ave Maria, so we're gonna do that for you now.
with the lag, yeah.
With the lag, yeah, and it'll make like a sort of a what is
Church
it?
reverb
Canon?
vibe.
Is no, not a canon.
Yeah, what's it like? Thistle freedom train.
Yeah, it's called a canon. It's still freedom. Yeah. I suppose. I mean, like, just to speak for the other lads. I mean, like, if you want to keep up to date with our stuff, we're Warped Minds Music on Instagram. Instagram's really our main place that you can find us. We're very responsive. So if anybody wants to talk,
I thought you were going to say we're very irresponsible.
We're very irresponsible as well, in fairness. Like, and we promise that we will put more stuff out on online on Instagram and on any kind of, because we have a Facebook as well. So we'll put more stuff out there in this time.
Awesome.
And honestly, thank you so much for everyone who's listened to the Single Pen to Paper. Thank you so much, because that's a huge help. Like, even just adding it to your playlist, that really helps us going forward. I know Emma Wallace put it on her radio station as well, so thank you to Emma Wallace. And honestly, anybody who likes it, please share it, even to one person. If you just share it to one other person who you think might like it, that's going to help so much. So thank you all so much for listening to us and giving us this time and making us a part of your day, I suppose.
Deadly. Well said. There you go.
Beautiful.
Brilliant. So Pen to Paper. I'm speaking with Warped Minds, everybody. Absolute pleasure, guys. These are an absolute lovely bunch of guys.
Thanks, guys.
These are a great band, and I wish you the very best. And Paul, like you say, man, I will be in touch. And yeah, if you just want to come back again at any stage down the line, I think I'm going to keep doing these. I'd love to have you back as well. Hopefully under different circumstances, you know, where I might be able to plug a gig for you or something like that. So awesome, boys. All right, guys, so that's Warped Minds. My pleasure, boys. I'm gonna play.
Thanks very much, guys.
Pen to Paper. Let's do it. Pen to Paper from their recent EP. There we go.
I wish you didn't do that.
Oh, this is awesome. That you're live.
Kicking us out one by one. Say your goodbyes. Who's last? Paul's last.
Yeah.
See you later, brother.
Thanks, man. See ya.
Sitting maybe to relax. Music's gone, and now we're back. I don't wanna get out, comfortable inside, but just a few more miles. Standing in the shadow of a tough hill to climb. Get these thoughts out from my head, turning molehills into mountains. I will exercise my right, pen to paper with these stories I'll never write. Life is on a constant loop. Things repeat, at least to me. Flashing lights go by my eyes. Down the road, no end in sight. Standing in the shadow of a tough hill to climb. Get these thoughts out from my head, turning molehills into mountains. I will exercise my
Pen to Paper by Warped Minds. What a fucking awesome tune. Absolutely amazing song. I couldn't help but rock out to that one a little bit there. What a cool conversation. What a cool little time we had with the with Warped Minds. I really enjoyed that. It was nice to catch up with Paul as well, who's a friend. I've known him for a couple of years actually from the music scene, and we started doing some projects as well together over the past last year. We started working a lot together, so it was just nice to catch up and get to know the guys again from Warped Minds. So that was absolutely awesome experience, and it was actually awesome, really awesome having all the other guests as well. HAYLEY, MCKAY, and Just Dave, Ian Brennan. So what a lovely little show today. It went on for a little bit longer, 4 hours. So I feel absolutely invigorated by that. So thank you so much for all of you guys for staying tuned in and for popping in and even for listening for little pieces of the show. When you do listen back, Facebook loves to mute songs that have been played on Spotify or that are uploaded on Spotify or YouTube. So what I will do is I will create a separate location for this whole show to take place, so you can check it out off Facebook, either as an audio or video. So thanks so much guys for tuning in. Anto Rocket Man, yes, you said it brother, that was a rockin' tune. Thanks for popping back in with us. Lindsay enjoyed that as well. Reza Rashidi, what's the story man, good to see you back again. Paul Ames, good to see you back. Susan O'Reilly, Mick Joyce, man, good to see you brother, hope you're keeping well man. Anna Kozak, you're watching again. Cheers, Defo, love it. Yeah, no, it's actually just really, really good. So they'll be releasing, Warped Minds will be releasing more, 3 more songs to go along with their rest of their EP. So definitely keep in touch with them through Facebook, and they do prefer to use Instagram, they said, so you can check them out, Warped Minds on Instagram. So Amy Murphy is watching. Amy, welcome back. Thanks again for tuning back in with us. I don't really want to leave. It's like one of those. It's like at the end of a night or something, you know, where you just don't want to go home. So I'm actually really enjoying myself, and I didn't even want to finish that conversation with Warped Minds. But we will be back. Well, I will be back on Wednesday. Again, same time, 2 o'clock. Actually, we'll be back a little bit earlier on Wednesday because I'm actually having a couple of special guests on Wednesday. So it's going to be a really interesting show. I'll be starting off the show with Martin Fortune, who is a Irish fitness and nutritionist and AV technician who lives in Australia at the moment. And he's been living there for a couple of years, and he set up shop there. So it'll be a really interesting conversation to have with him. I'll also be having Darren Conway, which is he's a Irish comedian. So I'm sure a lot of you know him already. So I'm absolutely really, really excited to be interviewing him and to see kind of the inside scoop, what he's all about. So because his videos and his content cracks me up, so I'm actually really, really looking forward to that. I also have Rebecca from Viking Promotions as well will be joining me, and she'll be plugging a little bit about the Waterford music scene. So we'll get to listen to a few artists from Waterford, which I'm really looking forward to, because it's always nice to hone into sort of places you might not expect to have a music scene. But Rebecca did assure me that Waterford has a very active music scene, so that'll be really good stuff to learn. And I'll also be having Dimitri D, who I actually just can't wait to have a chat with him, because we only got to know each other briefly when he auditioned for a Mixmaster mic position for the Beastie Boys band that I am setting up. That Paul Downey from Warped Minds is actually one of the MCs with me for that project, so that's going to be a crazy project. But Dimitri, yeah, he's going to have a little chat with us, and he's also going to finish off with a DJ set as well. So I think we might finish at the same time, maybe between 5 and 6 again on Wednesday. And I do like doing the early shows. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, so do let me know if if these early shows work for you, the early afternoon, because I am aware that a lot of people tend to, and a lot of musicians tend to, pick the evenings. So I kind of wanted to do a little bit different, and I know some of yous work, but on a Saturday, I guess I get a little bit more Obvious tuned in. So I'm gonna leave you with one final song, and it's by Ian Brennan, because I tend to go a little bit longer on these shows than I expect, so I didn't want to keep Warped Minds waiting. And I mean, there's so many amazing songs to choose from Ian's album here. So I'm gonna pick In the End, and this was something that I don't think I got a chance to play it on Wednesday. I know there was 2 songs I was meant to play, so I'm gonna leave you with that, guys. And yeah, have a fantastic weekend. Have a great time. There's a lot of musicians going live during this time, so do have a scout around on Facebook and have a listen to their performances, because of course, you know, that gives them so much support. So have a wonderful time. Stay safe. Stay in good forms, you know. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure hosting this show for you, and thanks so much for tuning in, and for those who stayed tuned in from the start. Is I don't know if anybody has managed to do that. 4 hours, fair play to you. If you have, do let me know, and I might send you a prize or something. So take it easy, guys. This is In the End by Ian Brennan.
Are the seasons ever changing in this slow time world? The birds are always singing, that's all I've heard. Every day seems to be dark. Is there any sign of life? With you I know we'll make it through this everlasting night. How did you know? How could you know that everything works out? Everything works out. How did you know? How could you know? Everything works out. Everything works out in the end. Are the seasons ever changing in this slow time world? The birds are always singing, that's all I've heard. Every day seems to be dark. Is there any sign of life? With you I know we'll make it through this everlasting night. How did you know? How could you know that everything works out? Everything works out. How did you know? How could you know? Everything works out. Everything works out in the Everything works out. Everything works out in the Everything works out. Everything works out in the end.